Okay, so with everything going on with this whole Vaush saga and Ethan thing, we got a little bit of request to talk about Vaush's original sin. And this is old, so just take that in context. You know, if you want to be like, oh, it happened a long time ago, I don't, you know, it makes perfect sense. We've all changed, we've all evolved, we've all grown. But also, I don't know, I wonder how much. So here's the thing. For me, I remember when I was like on TikTok, whatever, I was like relevant. I was supposed to talk to Vaush one time, and then I saw this stuff, and I was like really grossed out by it. It's him pushing boundaries pretty hard, and then not taking a real accountability for it. That's what I remember. And it was something that frustrated me. And so it made me kind of, you know, not want to ever interact with him. And I just decided never to not talk to him anymore. So let's get to the story of Vaush's original sin. I can't really describe too much of it because it's kind of messed up. Yeah, let's go. It starts with Destiny. All right. And it doesn't exist.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. That's the first time.
I think this was back when Vaush was still in Destiny's community, and I believe he was going by Irish Laddie at the time.
Never had this kind of talk, right?
Yeah, he blamed the person or people that he was pushing boundaries on, and said that they weren't like mentally capable of engaging in whatever was going on, which is what kind of bothered me more than anything else. Really supports the narrative that he. We'll get into it later.
Normally when we talk about kind of like sexual interactions, I try to give like hypotheticals, or I kind of give like vague, like, here's an experience I've had or I've known about somebody, and I kind of say, like, you should do this, you shouldn't do this. Today, we're going to look at some specific scenarios, and then we are going to kind of go over like what would be good or what would be bad. Okay, maybe like,
okay,
this is probably not okay, you should look out for this. Basically, like what I would consider kind of like some more fundamental social skills. All right. Okay. Wait, hold on. Oh my god. 1 second. Blame Mr. Mooten on this, okay? This is Mr. Mooten. Right now, this is Mr. Mooten and RTBA's fault, okay? Blame them.
Okay. We're getting close, guys.
Are we ready?
All right, we're edging right now. We're gooning.
Here we go, boys.
I'm pretty sure Vaush jumps into the call towards like the middle to end.
We're just going to go through and we're going to kind of read a couple things. We're going to kind of have some critiques, have some talks about what's going on, okay? Good luck. I wish all of you Godspeed, okay? You're all beautiful people. Oh, man. I don't... Hold on, I'm sorry, 1 sec. Hold on, maybe I should cancel this whole stream. Okay, never mind. Mr. Mooten's got our back, okay? Mr. Mooten saved the stream, okay? Mr. Mooten saved the stream. Okay. We're just going to jump right into these messages and try to ascertain what's happened in the past, what's going to happen going forward, okay? Good luck, guys.
I'm gooning. I'm ready for the goon.
Did you want to talk to me as to what is inappropriate for me to say to you? Please do answer quickly and be forward. I never intended to upset you. This is always good. When we're talking to people and we're trying to have people being, we're trying to engage somebody in a sexually explicit conversation. It's pretty good to figure out like what are the boundaries, right? Whether you want to be,
I accidentally pinged Mr. Mooten today in the Discord.
Bro, what the fuck is with all the sounds?
And I just want to say I'm sorry. Sad face.
Nice. Thanks for interrupting us. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna.
Okay.
You guys, sorry. Fucking obnoxious. Okay. The response. I don't know how you make me feel. Maybe just tone it down a bit, especially the sexual stuff.
Okay.
So.
Very, very clear and direct communication that they don't like the sexual stuff.
Personally, I think that when you're establishing boundaries, I think that it's very good to be very explicit. If somebody's asking you about what's appropriate or inappropriate, then I think that responding with "I'm not sure," usually not the way to go. But the ending stuff makes it pretty clear. If we're reading this, like, okay, they're not very comfortable with like the sexually explicit stuff.
Yep.
Cool. This is like pretty clear. Okay. All right, I will. Thank you for being candid. Feel free to talk with me whenever you'd like. It's a good response. I hope you aren't upset with me. I don't really like this. I don't think this is as good a reply, but okay. Because I don't think you should never be upset about setting boundaries. Don't ever be upset about setting boundaries with somebody or worry that they're going to be upset. It's totally within your right to establish whatever boundary you want.
So far, we're fine.
I'm not, but I will refrain from being flirtatious in the future. Better not to mess with these things.
I agree with that. Don't be flirtatious if somebody said not to be flirtatious. Hot take.
I don't like the way that this is phrased because it makes it sound like you're taking something away for them establishing a boundary. That's what it sounds like, right? I hope you're not upset with me. I'm not upset, but I'm not going to flirt with you anymore at all, right? I don't like that.
Well, that's kind of the point, isn't it?
That feels a little bit accusatory, but it's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing in the world, but
I mean, that's like kind of the point. You know, somebody said, I don't like the sexual stuff. You would probably stay away
Land
from
in
flirting in
France
general.
super chatted
so.
$1.99. $1.99 from Land in France.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank
Gut,
you,
I
sir.
goon to your videos at work every day. XOXO.
Wow. I really appreciate that, brother. That makes me feel very special. Thank you so much.
but you know,
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I just don't do well with really sexually explicit stuff. It kind of embarrasses me. Okay, cool. That's fine. Sometime in the near future, I would like you to clarify what you meant when you said, don't know how I make you feel, if that's okay with you. So it sounds like we're kind of like flirting
Sounds like we're kind of pushing, but
a little bit like, well, what do you mean you don't know how I make you feel? Like, can you tell me about that? Okay. Yes, not tonight maybe, but I will be logged online all afternoon tomorrow after church. Sounds fair to me. I eagerly await an explanation. Whew. A little bit eager, but okay. Can I just be forward with you? Yes. So it's obvious you find me cute.
what if you just said no?
The feeling is mutual. You also, on some level, do enjoy my sexual advances, though they do make you uncomfortable. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, so I won't make them anymore. That being said, what do you want moving forward? Okay.
Okay. I guess that's kind of fair, I suppose, though. It just kind of seems like it's continuously pushing the topic, but okay.
This is our first major yikes, okay? What's the name of the thing? I want the board. Where's the button? Fuck, I fucked up already. Too late. I don't care anymore. Anyway, we're at major yikes number 1, okay? It's probably not a good idea to tell somebody else what they enjoy sexually. If you really wanted to phrase this in a way that gets the same point across without it coming off as highly combative, right? Then something along the lines of like, I get the impression that you enjoy the sexual advances, but I feel like they make you uncomfortable. Or something along those lines is better, because then you're kind of rephrasing it and like, well, this is how I feel about this particular thing, and I understand they make you uncomfortable, is way better than telling somebody, I know you like these advances. I know you like it. I know you like it. That's like a pretty, that's a pretty yikesy, that's a pretty not good way to kind of take what somebody's feeling and then kind of project your own thing over it. It's not good, I would say.
Yeah.
It's not good. Don't do that.
Yeah, probably. They say they don't like the sexual advances, then why say you like it? Well, I mean, he's pushing the boundary. He's trying to see if she's like down for it again or something.
I like the idea of having more debate/discussions. I want to talk about my interpretations of theology with you.
I mean, it's pretty explicit, you know? I don't want I don't want to sex with you anymore, you know? Take the L, move on to the next person. You know? I mean, listen, we've all been there. When I was in the whole poly phase, I was talking to people, we would sext, and then, you know, some of them were like, I don't want to do it anymore. I just stopped talking. I mean, I'm not gonna be rude. I kind of just stopped talking to them sometimes. I'm a little bit of an asshole. So, you know, I like myself now that I'm not in that scenario. We'll say. Oh my God, it's so much shit to fucking get.
All right. I'm not sure how well I'll be able to engage with those discussions. Okay. Whatever. We can find other.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel a little bit like, oh, I only really talk to you for the sex, and now that you won't do that, like I'm not really going to engage with you. You know, so I mean, if he only had the intention from the start of trying to sex with her, you know, okay, I get it. Like, it is what it is. But if he's trying to lead her on to try to get more sexual conversation out of her, I mean, that's kind of fucked up now.
Topics, I'm sure. I won't lie. I'm very curious as to your thought process on my sexual advances. See, I've never.
Why are you so pushy?
Never been inhibited. It's difficult for me to imagine the.
I've never been inhibited is just not true. There's no way in any world that Vaush has never been inhibited. Like, everybody gets inhibited. Like, there's going to be times where you hit on somebody and it just doesn't work out. This is just not true.
Mind of someone simultaneously intrigued and uncomfortable. Okay, if somebody is already.
It seems like they very clear how they wanted to just talk to him for debate stuff, but
established that they are not comfortable with explicit sexual conversations, it's probably not a good idea to like press on it like really hard. Don't lean into that super hard, because it's
what? I've never heard that before.
Clear they're already uncomfortable. They've already told you they're uncomfortable. Why would you keep prodding in that direction? Probably not a good idea.
Because they actually like it. They actually like it, dude. They actually like it. That's what the argument is.
Idea. Like I say, I want to be a cowboy in the West, and it's like 50% a joke, right? It's supposed to sound silly, but if I was an actual cowboy, that would be awesome. It's not an uncommon.
I feel like being cowboys sucks and it's gay, because you're like on the road all the time and you're not with your wife.
Common kink. No. There's still a valid reason to believe it sounds nice. God damn it, person. You are so open to innuendo. Your language screams for it, but my hands are tied. We can talk about marriage on stream in the future, maybe. I need to collect notes/sources, but it sounds like a fun topic. Oh, between you and I? I'm afraid I'm already in a relationship. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Which one is the one in the relationship?
This is all Mr. Moon's fault. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. Wait. Let me scroll down a little. Okay. Oh, between you and I'm afraid I'm already in a relationship. That would legitimize our communion, though. Clever. And then they respond with, no, I mean as a concept, because you are a marriage abolitionist, correct? Mm-hmm.
Oh, some kind of fucking cringe debate marriage shit. I'm trying to figure out which one is which again.
No barriers. Speaking of, got to do some communion. You mean like the Eucharist? I think you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, Vaush is the black one. He's the obviously he's that one. You know what I mean. You know what he means.
I think I do.
I'm gonna jack off. That's what he's talking about. I think.
I meant sex.
Oh,
yeah,
he's
so
gonna
like,
do sex.
If somebody has already established they are not comfortable with these types of conversations, oftentimes we use humor as a means to kind of like test how another person feels about like a certain sexual situation. Right. I do this a lot. I think that this is a really. I think that using.
I mean, fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with doing a little bit of a tester, a teaser, if you will. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, feel out the boundary, see what's going on. But this one's already been pretty hard set here.
Test boundaries is a pretty good way of getting how somebody feels through something. However, one, you don't do it after they've explicitly said that they're not comfortable with it, and two, you have to be receptive with how they interact with that humor.
Bro,
if they're not receptive to it at all, then you have to back off. You have to realize, like, okay, well, this person's not very receptive to this. Like, let's back off. Like, yeah, there's probably not something they're feeling, right?
Okay, I agree.
And then some of these are totally separate conversations. Did you win? Okay, so the other person that is maybe the target here is, did you win? And then the person responds, oh yeah. Were you boxing then, or was it just an ad hoc fight? I was boxing at the time, and after I won, I fucked his girlfriend.
Wow, weird.
No way. Nah, that's part of joke, but it'd be hot, huh?
Nah, why would it be hot?
I've been in no straight fights. You are rather small. I'm 5'11". I'm really tall, not small. I've seen your body. I could, among other things, snap you in half.
Oh my God.
Okay. Man. We're really going hard, okay?
I guess he is really hard. What's so special about this girl? You know, I think that it's later revealed that she has like potentially some kind of like mental situation going on. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just think that Vaush likes to prey on vulnerable women. It seems like his thing. Drunk, having a disability. I don't know. You know, there's nothing wrong with dating a girl with autism, but obviously he doesn't have the respect to do it. At least at this point in his life, maybe he grew. I don't know.
Really going hard here. Got to tone it back. We're actually way past. All right, I'll try to put it as neutrally as possible. I don't actually support bestiality, but I find it very hot conceptually. I love big cocks, horse cocks.
What?
Oh, I thought of somebody being so.
Oh my God. I love horse. I don't support it, but I love it conceptually. Big cocks, horse cocks, incredible.
Horny and cock hungry that they turn into an animal to slate
oh
their
my
carnal
God.
desires or interests very hot.
No.
Like the idea of you curiously touching or stroking one. Curiosity driven by very raw sexual interest.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. That's incredible. That would be when a girl tells me, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. I usually go right at the horse cock.
Right, we're way past. I think I'm just repeating myself now, but we're way past the point of like the person said they're not comfortable with these types of sexual conversations. Why would you keep going? I mean, you shouldn't touch a horse like that. It's pretty clear that this person is not like engaging back. Like I don't think this person.
You shouldn't touch a horse like that.
Person is sexually engaged with the other person in any of these conversations, right? Like,
but guys, he just has a little bit of autism. That's why he can't realize it, even though she's been very. It's so interesting because I think that was one of the defenses, and maybe I'm wrong. We'll see a little more later. But I mean, like people with autism understand very clear boundaries. Let's just be clear. Sometimes that's all they understand. Right, that you need to say, I don't like this. So she said, I don't like this. It's not even like there's like it's not a relevant factor, you know?
Like they've been pretty clearly like staying away from it. No, of course you shouldn't. You can fantasize about it and talk about it.
I guess.
Oh, I get it. But I'm sure you get what I'm saying. Talking about it gave me a semi. Okay, that's all right. I already
Oh my God.
feel like I've pushed your boundary.
He's gooned too close to the sun here.
You know I think you're attractive. Thank you. And you me? I don't know. Wow, rude. I'm sorry. I know I'm handsome. Every inch of me. Of course.
Why is he so full of himself? Vaush is not a particularly attractive guy.
Plum. Wait, grape plum, right? This is a plum. So do you unironically want dick pics or no? All right, cool. I'm very ashamed of my penis. No, I'm sure it's fine. Like what could possibly be wrong?
What? Yeah, that's like a little bit of a shame tactic. I'm ashamed of like, do you want to see my dick? No. Oh, well, I'm ashamed of my penis. It's just, and to me, it suggests that you were trying to make them feel guilty for not wanting to see your schmiggle, you know?
Wrong with it? Oh, nothing. It's actually pretty great. Glad to hear that you care though.
Wow.
It's an eggplant. I'm sorry.
No. Wow, what an idiot. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Why did you sexually harass whoever? Went over literally all of this yesterday over voice chat. Nice meme. It's not a meme. I'm mad about it. Then you should have been there in voice chat yesterday. I was still.
Wait, so he got an issue with sexually harassing somebody else? Oh my God. Incredible stuff.
Fasting until the night, and then we had a power outage across the area. And then they're pasting logs from another conversation. This is what the sort of things you told me sounded like. Are you suggesting I sexually harassed you? I don't know. I don't think so, but it seems very plausible you'd say those things to someone else. You can believe what you'd like. You're the last person I'd want to discuss this with. Why? Can we talk about this sometime today? Maybe. Please? Why do you want to so badly? I don't know. I just want to. I'm sorry. It seems like you've already sort of...
If he's such a desirable guy, why does he need to harass a bunch of like these women? I don't get it.
Taken someone else's side on this. Maybe, but I haven't talked with you about it, so I don't know. Oof. Okay. I think there are more logs related to this. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Help me among us. How come I'm not leveling up? What the fuck?
Mr. Man, do I want to read all of these?
Okay.
I haven't vetted these yet. I don't know what journey we're about to go down here, okay? Good luck, guys.
Crazy.
Here we go.
I think at this point he hasn't said who it was from.
Oh. Okay. Good luck. I really, really think you should meet this a campus counselor pronto and tell them how you're feeling before you make any decisions. Can you do that at least? I will, yeah. I mean, in my undergrad, the lowest 2 marks I got were a 68 and a 72 because I was dealing with this shit before. I never had any grade lower than 85. My GPA was blah, blah, blah. She was really bad. I was getting coffee and some nice dude tried to start a conversation with me and I snubbed him because I was surprised. I didn't know what to say. Then I walked away after saying, haha, but I realized how easily I could have continued the conversation. You could be literally getting fucked right now. You could be on the...
Wow. What the fuck? She's talking about her grades. And then talking about some nice dude she's getting coffee with. Damn. And then we go right into the you could be getting fucked by an 8-inch cock right now.
Your legs spread and 8 inches of stranger's dick scooping
wow.
out. Instead you snubbed him. Honestly. Huh. Well, I hope this makes you feel less good about attending classes, I guess. Could I derail this topic and ask you something personal?
Why?
Sure. Sorry, I was reading something. No worries. Well, there's no real way for me to ask this without coming off as a dude bro, and I recognize this comes from a place of entitlement, but it really does quite confuse me. Why are you so disinterested in being flirtatious with me?
Oh my god.
I suppose I'm just used to things going my way in that regard. I know you like me fine as a person because we talk pretty often, and you clearly trust me, in spite of my...
I should watch a recent Fantano debate. Maybe I will. Maybe tomorrow.
Lasciviousness? Lasciviousness? I'm not sure what that word means. And I know you're not entirely sexually disinterested
Tacoma is like literally weeping right now.
in men. I also know I'm generally pretty sociable and charming. I'm not offended or anything. I just like to understand why this is the case.
So unlucky here.
I'm just a very asexual person at this point in my life. I have very narrow sexual interests. I don't find I don't know. I just really don't like men that way. If I need to masturbate,
Okay.
I'll turn one out at some porn, but I'll turn one out
Yeah,
to...
my wife likes to watch fat women masturbating for her porn. I don't really get it. I think that's a woman thing. You know, I think that she puts herself... I don't really understand it. But, you know, God bless her. I love my wife a lot, and I think it's kind of hot. But
some porn, but I think having sex with or being sexual with people, individuals doesn't appeal to me.
okay.
I mean, a year ago, I was very receptive to men, I guess, and nothing has really changed between now and then in the grand scheme.
Whoa, a baby!
Etc. Well, I can't really say I get it, and I worry that I sound disingenuous. So men are a low priority, since I'm a hornball. My libido has really decreased in general,
I'm a hornball, guys.
I think, due to stress. I understand that. Mine has too, though obviously mine could be a lot lower. I guess I just feel a little bad that I repulse you in that way, even if it really has nothing to do with me. Okay, so I kind of want to talk about the
It's just a constant shaming tactic. Holy fuck.
flow of this conversation.
Oh my
it's
God.
really important to understand that emotional manipulation can happen without somebody necessarily intending it. So when I'm saying that
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. I mean, I'm sure that it could, but I also feel like this seems pretty intentional.
this might be a manipulative, I don't necessarily mean to say that the other person is cognizant of the manipulation, but this kind of juxtaposition between you either want to fuck me or you hate me is a really common strategy that people that engage in emotional manipulation abuse.
Oh yeah? How do you know, Destiny? You sick little baby. I don't
So
know.
for instance, if I message a girl and I'm like, hey, how's it going? They're like, oh, I'm pretty good. I'm like, so, what are you wearing? Did you take a shower today? Are you dressed yet? And they're like, I don't
Oh, I hope you didn't. Does your butt stink,
No, I really don't feel comfortable having this conversation. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, if you just don't want to talk anymore, just tell me. If you don't like me or if you hate me or whatever, that's fine, right? That idea where
exactly,
you take
dude. You have to make sure you manipulate them the right way. What does clear asteroids do? What the fuck?
behavior with a response where
I'm
they're
not even gonna
uncomfortable
get
with
it
something
'cause
you've
I don't
said,
wanna
and then you
report
make that as though, okay, well, you either have to give in to my prior demands or you
What is
really
this?
don't like me and you hate me. And generally, the person on the other side doesn't hate the person. Usually they would, usually they want to be friends with the person. So they're stuck in this weird area where they're kind of being gaslit into thinking that they've told.
Here's the thing. Here's my thing. Okay, right? If you are talking to somebody and your only real intention is to want to do date them or have a sexual conversation, that's your prerogative. Okay, and if they want to have and if they want to engage with you for something else, that's also fine, right? Hot take on that one. And if they're like, yeah, I don't really want to sex with you, you don't have to keep talking to them. But like the manipulation tactics and the all these different like tactics to try to guilt them into sexing with you, that's the part that's wrong. You could just stop talking to them. And like it's whatever. You know, you might be some of a fuckboy asshole, but I mean, that's not as bad as trying to be a manipulative dick. So
the other person, they hate them, where they're like, oh fuck, like am I really telling him I hate him, like just because I don't want to like engage in these like kind of sexual conversations, right? Don't do that stuff. That's really 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 bad. I don't think that's a good thing to do.
I met so many autistic guys like this, like they refuse to acknowledge boundaries and they keep pushing it, like they can't comprehend that they're being creepy. Really? I feel like I don't know. This is a real question. I have no answer to it. You know, people have a knack. There are some people who are aware of the issues that they have, and they can sometimes weaponize it. Right. So I had an ex who had fibromyalgia, and she had it, but we would go to parties together, like my family parties, and she'd very quickly be like, "Oh, I don't feel well because of my fibro. I need to leave." And we would usually just go home, and which sucked. Or she would go sit in the car because somehow that was more comfortable. And she would do that so that she could talk to other boys. And we were in an open relationship, but like still, that's obviously shitty what she was doing. And so I wonder how much of it is that, like, if you're somebody that, like Vaush, people have said he has autism, is clearly incredibly high functioning. So I wonder if part of it is leaning into that disability to justify what you're doing is wrong, which you see all over TikTok, right? People are like, oh, I have ADHD, so it's okay that I break stuff. Or I have this, it's okay if I do this.
Toasty just gifted 1 memberships.
And thank you so much for the gift of membership, Angie Toasty. And so I wonder how much of it is like some people that have a particular disability.
Became a member.
Thank you very much. How many people, how some people might have this disability and use it as an excuse. And like, so I wonder if it's an issue with like people with autism, or if it's an issue with like people that are scumbags weaponizing their different disabilities. You know what I mean? Because I'm very much against like using your disability as an excuse in a negative. Like, I mean, sometimes it's like good to acknowledge it. You know, like I have ADHD and I have anger issues. I've done tremendous amount of work to get rid of them. I've never gone, oh, I broke this. I broke a TV, or I hate talking about it because I have ADHD. I've never done that. I've never used it as an excuse. It's good to acknowledge because it makes me feel like I'm not a horrible person because I have like some things that can contribute to some of my problems. But I've never like leaned into it. And so I just wonder how much of that is, you know. I'm autistic and I definitely miss boundaries when people say them nicely, but it's stated clearly. Yeah, they mean it's stated pretty clearly multiple times that she doesn't want to do this. So that's why I feel like, is this really because of autism, or is he just like, oh, I'm going to push the boundary and then use that as an excuse? So,
hope you've been okay, bud. I'm just reading through some of these right now. I haven't read these before, so I don't know like what's good to read or not. Sorry. Hope you've been okay, bud. Yeah, things worked out the other day, and I'm not sick. Still skipped morning class. How's your day going? Oh, you'll be happy to hear I obtained tier 5 nudes from a Bumble chick.
Why? Why are you telling people this?
This is the 5th tier. Psh, you don't even know what 5 tier is? Come on. Is it highest or lowest? Second highest. I was hoping you'd ask about the tiers. What are they? Yeah, but you didn't feel my ego by pressing for answers. I'm not one to really press. So I see. Anyway, as far as I see it, the tiers are, and then graphic explanation of all the tiers.
Okay.
And then again.
I guess it's like Brittany Simon's levels.
Okay. If you're engaging in like pretty explicit sexual conversation and the person doesn't engage with it in any way, size, shape, or form, it should be pretty obvious that the person is probably not engaged.
Especially when they said, I don't want to engage in this. Yeah.
With this conversation. Probably not interested in continuing this line of thought. So all of this leads to, did you sort things out with your girlfriend? I don't know what the other person said. And they said, that's good. And they go, it's still room to improve. You're not even proud of my tier 5 acquisition. I'm just going to assume you know I'm not a pedo and not pretend to act offended. I don't know. Suspicious of all duders. Unappreciated. What? I don't appreciate the suspicion. It's default, to be honest. All the same. My stalker is in DGG Discord. Not even kidding. My dude, please. What do you want me to do about it? Also, I'm still cross with you. Nothing. I just freaked out. Yee, well, dudes lie. I thought sex just sucked for a long time with my current boyfriend. No wonder you're such a prude. I'm not, though. So now that we've brought the sexual tension up to a simmering level in here, I know what you're thinking. What? I was actually thinking about how Trump has made another deal with Pelosi. Holy shit.
It's very clear that they're trying to direct the conversation away, too.
I know you want to see it, but you're a spiteful fuck. And I know you'd share my dick pics around, even though it's in the exact upper spectrum of your preferred dick size range.
What? What's wrong with this guy?
Dude, what the fuck? No, do not.
Brittany Simon, my girlfriend loves you. I like loves Brittany Simon. Oh, hey, Brittany. I was trolling you a little bit. I didn't know that you were in here. That's so funny.
Some of your dicks aren't attractive to look at. They simply feels good, man. Guys, we are on levels of aggression that were previously thought not possible. Okay, this is
incredible.
Weapons grade level sexual aggression against somebody that is clearly not reciprocating an interest. Okay. Yeah, obviously, you'd send it around. Prove to me I can trust you.
Damn, that's a sly line.
The emotional manipulation to try to get nudes. It's possibly effective, probably morally not good.
Probably, yeah, true.
Send me nudes. I know I can trust you. Don't do this. Do not do this. Okay? Don't do this.
Damn.
Don't do this. Okay?
Send me nudes so I know I can trust you. Or you could just look at this person's OnlyFans nowadays if they have one.
No, I wouldn't, because I'm principled, and that's called revenge porn or some shit. But A, I don't want to see that shit. B, ergo, I won't prove shit to you. C, if you're so proud of it, then why don't you go show it to the rest of DGG? There are probably gay memers in there who want to see it more than I do.
That's fair. That's fair.
In spite of your behavior, I'm confident you enjoy these bands.
Oh my god. Dude, there's no way. I'm Tom, the talking dog.
My behavior? Not responding to my semi-serious flirting.
Semi-serious.
Disgusting.
Oh, incredible.
Silly Goober just gifted.
Whoa! Now that is certainly a silly goober. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that.
Guess I misinterpreted signals. My bad. Oh, by the way.
Guess I misinterpreted the signals when you said stop.
Deb on Voyage 2 became a member.
This is just going to go through the ones that got the membership. I do appreciate those so much.
I do find your general and antagonistic attitude endearing, but I should not flirt with you. Am I reading that right? Well, either way, at least
Hanzo became a member.
That seemed pretty. It's pretty obvious to not flirt, but okay.
I'm at least as bad as reading signals as you are, so let me know.
Thank you again for the 5.
Yes, you could trust me with your nudes, but I don't want to see them. But yeah,
Toasty just gifted 5 memberships.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all the donations and memberships. Incredible stuff.
Would never leak someone's nudes, and not really. Please don't flirt with me. I really do appreciate your willingness to share this with me. But
all medium guts too. That's a $5 each. That's incredible. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Angie Toasty and Silly Goober.
Remember that in my current mood, I'm not really going to be able to be very supportive or comforting.
Wait, is he saying because he's so horny, he's not going to be supportive or comforting? Wow, that's so shitty. Wait, I really do appreciate your willingness to share this with me, but remember that in my current mood, I'm not really going to be able to be very supportive or comforting. So it sounds like what he's saying is because I'm so horny, I'm not going to be able to, provide you with whatever emotional support. That's just another manipulation tactic. Just stop talking to the person, bro. What the fuck?
Hold on. Yee, I'm a busy gal. Too busy, but whatever. Here's a dick pic to keep you company through class. Wait, fuck.
Whoa! Now that's exactly what she wanted, baby.
I had the selfie cam on. Oh no.
I wonder
well,
if I
whatever.
turned off hurry off.
Yikes. So then we have a picture. If you send me a dick pic, I'll block. I thought you were going to ignore them. Answer me, thought. My parents came over.
The fuck?
Oh, well, still. Are you not trying to ignore them? I'm fucked. They haha, or they have my full docs. That doesn't mean you're fucked.
They haha. What the hell?
How do you know? Because I read. I'm not going to bother you about this anymore. You don't take it seriously. Can I ask why you say that? And to be honest, it makes me feel very, very small and horrible. The way it's supposedly not a big deal or a huge joke, so I'd rather not. Well, no, you make assumptions about me. You make assumptions that it's normal. I don't want to have sex when it's completely 100% normal. Plenty of people do like me, just never in real life. Like I talk to multiple people frequently. Blah 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 blah. Look, what do you want from me? You have come to me and to the chat on multiple occasions to complain about / seek advice concerning your difficulty making friends. Don't bring up a problem and say you don't give a fuck when people offer advice. I know ugly, mentally ill people who have made many friends. Quit making excuses and accept you have the power to improve your attitude and outlook. I have no respect or sympathy for people who don't work to improve themselves. Man.
Very red pill.
Man. Maybe in some contexts there are pieces of this that could be good advice.
Well, I think considering he wants to fuck her and continuously, harasses her about it, I don't know if that exists,
But man, this is a very adult to child sort of if we get into oh god, what's the name of that bullshit psychology? It's a transactional analysis. Is it parent to child or adult to child? I think this would be a parent to child interaction, right? This is a very talking down to, kind of helping somebody out. It's very hard to take this position while you're simultaneously trying to shove your dick into their DMs and get nudes from them at the same time. Man.
Yeah, but I mean, ladies love the horse cock,
You man, yeah, you gotta wow. You apply normal people standards to someone who is severely mentally ill and berate them for not being able to adhere to them. Like, no offense. I and my entire friend group are mentally ill. Now you're being presumptuous. Not in the same way that I am, very obviously so. Possibly. If you're able to have a friend group, there is a huge schism there. Look, I'm tired of this. You came for advice and I gave it. It was well-meant and sincerely offered. Quit blaming the uselessness of other people's advice on your super specific situation and accept that you can make improvements too. You've even admitted this before. I don't appreciate the backtracking.
I mean, like, listen, if you want to engage in the David Goggins or whatever, that's fine. But I mean, within the realm that you're trying to fuck them, it's just so gross, dude. Like, listen, I'm sure that I've pushed like boundaries before when like talking to people and like sexting with people where I've been like annoying. I get it, but like, dude, you know, as a man, and sometimes you don't realize it, but this goes beyond that. This isn't just like, you know, you're being a little pushy. I mean, this is fucking crazy.
It isn't really related to sex, but if you're trying to help somebody, usually the goal is to be as supportive as possible. Like, hey, I think you can do this. Hey, I know that you can improve this. Hey,
hey, I hate you. That's what I usually say. You know,
even that can get annoying. But going the attack route is very not good. Probably don't want to attack people for their
what? It's not good. What the fuck does that mean?
Problems, especially related to like mental illness. I just hope you don't respond to. Oh shit! Hold on. Are we doing another picture? I think these are all blurred out, but just in case.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Oh fuck! I fucked up again.
I think it's blurred out. Wait, let me check one more time. Yeah, it's blurred out. I just hope you don't respond to all this in the worst possible way. Typos because I'm in the shower. What the fuck? You're showering with your phone?
Typos because I'm in the shower. Oh, is another tester, dude. Listen, it's a risky text. Hey, I'm in the shower right now. It's an intentional risky text. You're trying to feel it out, you know, because can I see? That's the desired outcome.
Yeah, I have phone in a plastic bag. I do it often. Kind of weird. The bag blurs the camera though. Would you believe this is my penis? And then this is blacked out.
Wow, incredible stuff. Can you believe this is my penis? What?
Please do not send me dick pics. I'll block you. I'm well aware. Oh come on, that was a little funny.
Dude, literally saying I'll block you. How does it continue from here? He's
Heck. I guess you're not in a good mood presently. Sorry. Oh, because you said something wrong on stream yesterday, so I thought I'd correct you because people mischaracterizing the evil white racism of Quebec is one of my biggest pet peeves of all time. I refuse to let French Canadians in my glorious white race. Plus, if I'm being nice, it's because I'm on a massive high right now because I got good grades back and I did good. I'd like to trade in some of those nice points for you not smearing me in chat as often. No, I don't smear you. What you did was okay. So, okay.
Fuck.
Yikes. We got a lot of yikeses in here right now, okay?
Creeper. Sorry.
It's very hard for me to regulate. That was pretty extreme. It's really hard.
This is like a level 10 yacht right now, dude. This is crazy.
Hard for me to regulate like behavior that goes on in DMs in my Discord for no other reason because I'm really uncomfortable with it because then we get into this weird area where like people are coming at me like, hey, this person said something mean to me in my logs, blah 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 blah. Oh man, I feel so bad and awkward doing this, but I really shouldn't, I guess. Supposedly, this person has been involved in these types of interactions. This is with 2 people, supposedly with others as well.
Oh my
but
God.
This person was insta-banned. Well, no, that's probably something that we're going to do right now, though, I think.
Damn, he's going to ban him and expose the Irish laddie.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's incredibly awkward. But this person is Irish laddie. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Destiny epically defending his own community, dude.
Yeah. Damn. I didn't reveal the names of either of the girls in the logs.
From the lollipop liquor.
But yeah, damn. It's
damn, not Irish. I wonder if he was like a little celebrity in the community. Oh no, not Irish laddie. That's my favorite guy. I love seeing his 8-inch horse cock that is at the upper edge of my preferences. Oh no. Oh no, I guess he doesn't have the luck of the Irish here, guys. It's terrible stuff. Incredible. Terrible. Incredibly terrible, if you ask me.
It's gonna be an omega yikes for me, fam.
Damn.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, damn.
Damn.
If 2 girls came forward, there's got to be at least a few more. Supposedly there are, but these are the 2 that have like taken the most logs. If anybody ever wants to like dump logs of me, I feel really bad because it's like damn.
My Little Lollipop liquor. Get it? Because it's like My Little Pony. So it's my Lolly Pony. Does that one do good? Is that you're the Irish laddie of the of a good community? Why would you even say that? What are you, fucking stupid?
Because damn. But like Yeah, holy shit.
Oh,
I don't know what
yeah.
to say.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's really awkward.
Damn.
There are like responsible ways to like engage in online interactions, and this is like definitely not it.
Oh, come on. Are you serious, Destiny?
Especially considering some of these people might be like not in the healthiest place mentally.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're engaging in your content. Oh, I'm just fucking around. I like Destiny.
Man,
Just started watching. What did Irish laddie do?
guys, you should.
Here's the thing. It goes beyond the typical gooning of some fuckboy men and goes into like this heavy manipulation tactic. It's fucking crazy. You know, you know what I mean? Like every man has had their Bob Vagine era, I feel like, where they're a little pushy, you know, and you grow up and you're ashamed of it. But I mean, this is fucking crazy. This is like waiting for a girl to get drunk and hitting on her at a goddamn party, brother. Like, what the fuck?
When you're talking to people, why did you choose to leak them? Because for one, honest to God, the biggest motivator. This is kind of like funny drama. I don't normally do like drama shit like this. Oh, I say funny. I shouldn't say funny. It's actually pretty.
Well, it's so funny because that's mostly what he does now. Well, not mostly. He does a lot of politics too, but like some political drama. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying that. I do like all drama. I don't know what the fuck what am I even like? I'm gooning too close to the sun right now.
I don't normally do stuff like this, but the problem is like these kinds of like screenshots have been floating around like my Discord servers, and I know a lot of people have been talking about it like under wraps. And then if I like randomly like ban Discord or ban Irish Laddie from Discord, a lot of people are going to be wondering why. If I like I'm trying to get rid of all the socialists, or if I'm trying to like make some power play, or if Mr. Mooten is trying to get rid of other streamers.
I see. So he feels like he has to ban him, but he'll get questioned. So he's doing that. Okay. Maybe he was threatened by Vaush's incredible power to overtake him.
Yeah, and then yeah. So I figured it's just like yeah. I guess like here's kind of like my guide to this. Like if you could just keep this in mind.
I'm keeping it in my mind. Uh-oh.
Oh, hey, what's
someone from
Is this the laddie? Is this the Irish laddie right now? Is this the Irish laddie showing up?
what they do in Discord
What the
DMs?
fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on, dude? That's like a nice. He's like, hey, what the fuck's going on, brother? Or is he actually upset? We'll see.
Kind of like Twitch banning people for a platform
Mr.
actually
Moon, where are
changed
you?
my mind.
You're no.
Oh god.
Oh my god, dude.
I think I was supposed to ban him. I didn't do it. Oh god.
Oh my god, dude. This is crazy.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh no. Oh, this is wild, brother.
Oh man.
This is fucking insane.
Oof. Okay.
I'm
Destin,
looking
you have
for
to talk to
something.
him, you coward. Well, I don't know if I need to. I mean, I don't think that there's like much left to be said about this. I mean,
Imagine he didn't, and that was just like the end of Vaush's career, you know? Crazy stuff, brothers.
here are just like a couple of like random things that I want to say, okay?
I'm ready for a baby.
I've given the same example like a million times before, okay? Hold on. So, if you're engaging in a conversation with another person and you have an extreme interest in that person, sexual or romantic, try to imagine what you would say in that other person's shoes. So here's like the default example that I
I would say, these shoes are too small for me. That's probably what I would say.
always give, okay? And it works perfectly. If a girl that you really liked, okay? If
Yeah.
a girl that you really liked messaged you and she was like, do you want to hang out on Saturday? And you were busy Saturday. You would never respond back, I'm busy, sorry, right? You would always respond back, I'm busy, but let's try Sunday or Monday. You'd always offer a suggestion.
Okay.
And that's because you want to hang out with the person, right?
Okay.
So if you
Sure.
flip the roles and then you have a conversation with somebody and you're like, hey, do you want to do something? And they're kind of evasive, they don't really answer. Just put yourself in their shoes. And if they don't respond, it means they're probably not interested. The same thing is definitely true for sexual engagement, right? For engaging people in sexual conversations. If somebody was having a conversation with you, and again, like there's nothing wrong with using humor to kind of like broach sexual topics. I do this all the time, and I think it's okay.
Whoa, that's disgusting. No, I'm just kidding.
But if you make like a sexual joke, or
Girls like humor, dude.
if a girl, or let's flip it again. If a girl makes kind of a sexual joke towards you, you're probably going to engage with it if you have a sexual interest. You're like, oh, like if she jokes, like, yeah, like you'll kind of like respond back in like a flirtatious manner. You know,
I know
you
that
do
you've
this
shown me
because
absolutely no interest in.
hold on. You do this because like you would want to, because you want them to further that conversation. If you are continuously dropping like sexual humor and they're not engaging with it at all, it means that the person is probably not interested.
And also, if they're telling you, hey, I'm not interested in sexual stuff multiple times, then they might not be interested. I don't know if you guys know that.
You should probably stop because it's probably making them very uncomfortable. I'm saying probably because there are no 100% on any of this stuff. But like, yeah. So again, like to reiterate, to be clear, I don't think there's anything wrong with using humor to kind of like broach like sexual advances. Again, I do this a lot. But if the person's not responding, they're not interested, like you have to back off. And also, I think that like you should try to be mindful of like the other person in terms of like how they are responding to like you being sexual. If they're like explicitly telling you that they're not into it, you can't I mean, like, obviously you can't start like firing off random dick pics. That's obviously, we're way past like what you should or shouldn't do. Yeah. Why are you banning someone from your community for the personal drama? Well, the problem
It's not really personal drama. I mean, at this point, it's one of those things where you could argue that it's the safety of the community. You know,
the problem is that apparently Irish has been doing this to like a lot of girls in my Discord server. So there are a couple of big problems with this. Okay.
You can't let this shit fly, brother.
I have done.
I love how these people are so terminally online. They're like, this is just like drama. Why the fuck are you banning this guy?
Exactly this to test out girls from Tinder who wanted sex. Yeah, sure. Humor is a good way to brush these things as long as you're not going too far.
Sure.
The problem is that I can't have people like in my Discord servers that are like hounding like every single girl. It's not good because so for instance, I think I have like a decently active trans community on my Discord server because we have a very low tolerance on like transphobic stuff, or I guess no tolerance like transphobic
based
stuff. Like I don't even do the our traps gay shit. Like if somebody starts mentioning that in chat, that's a fucking instant ban. Okay,
instant
our traps
ban,
don't do that
dude.
shit, right? So I think
what a good guy, what a nice guy.
I have a fairly healthy trans community that's part of my community.
I can't believe he turned out to be so transphobic against couples. The most powerful and positive trans ally person on the internet, you know.
I would also hope that if you were a woman in my community, that you're not going to be worrying about like people that go from like girl to girl in Discord, you know, trying to like seduce you, and then if you reject them, you know, fucking start shipping you dick pics or whatever. Right? Don't do that shit. You know.
Yeah. Don't do that, guys.
I think that kind of stuff is like.
Don't send me your dick pics, guys. Don't do it. Don't do that.
Pretty harmful in my community. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that feeling that like if you were part of any community of mine, that's just something you have to tolerate. Like, oh yeah, like I really like. So like for instance, I'm not calling anyone out here, but in a lot of other large Twitch communities, right? There are a lot of people that have like kind of like a lot of racist shit, and
yeah, gotta love it. Wait, no, you don't. That's terrible.
I wouldn't want you if you were like a black person or an Asian person, you don't know shit, and it's like, well, you know, if somebody steals something in a game, people are just going to spam tryhards. It's just what they do, you know. But that you just have to do it. I don't want you to feel like you have to deal with it. Like, that's not necessarily saying this is like your safe space or anything to discuss something, but like yeah. And then same thing like if you're a woman in at least in a community that I run, I don't want you to feel like that. Oh yeah, Destiny's community is cool. Just make sure you avoid X, Y, and Z because those guys are going to start like spamming dick pics at you if you don't respond to their sexual invitations. I wouldn't want that to like exist in my community, you know. Yeah.
I don't know if I chose the right one. What am I doing? Fuck. Oh, you retracted that you're the Irish laddie of the Popcorn community. Very good.
For a debate, I don't think I'm comfortable debating.
I don't think that I have anybody in my community that's horny. That's the craziest thing. So it's pretty cool. Maybe Mr. Shine 12 buy me vinyl. You know, he wants to. He keeps telling me he wants me to lower the delays on the chats in the Discord. Maybe that's because he wants to send multiple dick pictures. I don't know, dude. Just posted your jobs.
Over whether or not this counted as like sexually exploitive behavior, because goddamn, this is like pretty clear to me. I don't know if there are any contexts that could change the way that those messages played out.
There's nothing.
Like, unless literally like the message before is like, hey, I want you to act like as much of a manipulative sexual person as you can for the next 10 messages. Like, unless that's before like every
maybe that's what it was. There's your context, dude. Come on.
I don't think.
I wouldn't talk to Vaush at all because this is why I didn't want to talk to the guy because it goes beyond pushing boundaries. It's fucking gross ass behavior. And then I think I remember like he like blamed the girl on it. He's like, oh, she was too fucking dumb or something, or she wasn't in the right mental state. She just didn't understand. It's like, dude, that's so gross. Why would you try to fuck with people that just don't get it by your own logic? I don't know.
You can't just share one side, dog. You're being disingenuous. I mean, apparently he's
like, how do you like, you know what I mean? Again, like, it's one thing to be pushy, but like when you're this level of manipulative, the only way that you can change is if you go to like therapy, man. Like that's crazy. Like you have to like you get like diagnosed sociopath or something. You know, outside of that, I don't think that you can really just change. All you can do is just hide the behavior better. That's just my opinion, you know. I mean, I'm a little bit of a fuck up. I gotta touch a hot stove to know it's hot, but this goes beyond that, dude.
I mean, if you want to get inside, but the problem is like. This has been something that might be...
Maybe they're just LARPing a CNC scenario, and they're playing themselves. And Vaush is pretending that he has lots of roofies for her drinks.
Well, my Discord have been talking about for quite a while, like a year.
Damn, a whole year?
I think, right? Mr. Mooten, or like a lot of people have said that like Irish Lad is like really sexually aggressive in Discord.
Damn.
This means no more Irish Lady conversations. I mean, at least maybe if he reforms in a year. Vaush says that was misinformation. I mean...
Oh, shit. I knew it, guys. I knew it was just misinformation.
Oh, wait. Actually... Did he do this with Aaron? I'm trying to think.
Oh, not Aaron. Not Aaron Yeager. I would personally choose Eli. That's just a personal preference, though.
Fuck, this conversation was so long ago.
Oh, God.
I shouldn't even say that out loud, actually, because I don't remember. I don't actually remember. So someone in chat said that this has been going on for 6 years. Is this not like a breaking news type shit? Like, don't you usually want to wait for the info to come out? No. This has been like for at least like a year. Like a lot of random people. The problem is like all the people complaining in Discord.
I mean, I feel like it just takes this one scenario. But if he's if he's doing the same shit to so many people, like what the fuck,
man.
I mean, Destiny's got to clean it up because at this point, you know, it's just disrespecting Destiny's community and like when you know what he and I know this was a while ago, but what he built. So you kind of have to fucking lay your schmingle down on this one.
I might sound like the type of guy, I guess, that plays into rape culture by saying,
yeah, dude, it's a Attack on Titan meme.
That's which kind of sounds bad, but like a lot of the people that are in my Discord are in some like highly dramatic shit. So like when I read a lot of this shit, it usually goes in one ear out the other. I don't like to fuck with it because you fuckers in Discord are crazy. Half the fucking time you guys are raping each other, killing each other, doxing each other. I don't fucking know. If it's not
Jesus Christ
typed into my Discord server, I usually don't do shit about it. If you're like DMing each other or you're fucking each other or raping each other on the side, you're doing some crazy furry fucking whatever the fuck you guys are doing. If it's not happening in my server, I usually leave it the fuck alone because I'm not going to start policing people's DMs because I just can't do it. I can't. It's impossible because once I think we banned one person for doing some weird shit like off the server, and then like a flood of people like, oh, well, this guy does this on another server. This is it's like, dude, I'm not gonna fucking start banning people like for all this shit. Like, what the fuck? This is way too much. I'm not gonna start investigating people's like off server. Yeah. What happened to listening to both sides? I mean, well, now I
mean, you got the screenshots. What else is there to listen to?
I have to think about how responsible it would be for me to engage with that conversation. I feel like I really shouldn't. You're giving him.
You probably shouldn't, but he does, and we get to see it.
2K viewers by not talking to him. Well, I mean, I feel like he'll get more viewers by me talking to him. I don't know. All right, Mr. Mooten, or
okay,
do a vote. We'll see what the people say. I'm not necessarily going to follow it. I'm just curious. I mean, technically,
let's see.
Nier gave Light a chance to explain himself at the end of Death Note, and he had like fucking.
Oh, dude, you gotta love the references. That's where Hassan got it from. That's where Hassan gets all his references from. Okay, I really want to.
Irrefutable evidence. So, what did Nier say?
Can you justify allowing train in your community for basically the same shit?
What?
The train wrecks. Oh, Jesus.
So, like with Trainwrecks, I would say that what Trainwrecks did was way too sexually forward, but I didn't see Trainwrecks engage in like any sort of like emotional manipulation, and a lot of what he did was like public. So like in public, not that making it public is better, but like there's a much different dynamic there, I think.
Okay.
Did you even give him a warning? I mean, no. I mean, there's a lot of people that have come forward. I shouldn't say a lot of people. I've seen at least 2 sets of like logs on like murmurings from other people.
I'm getting attacked. Oh shit, that was not good. Oh, that actually doesn't matter.
Only talking is going to be rough.
Look at how much money I'm making in this game. Damn. Big pimpin', baby.
Do it for the views? I mean, if I want views, I can just talk politics. I'm trying to think if it would be really irresponsible of me. So here's what I'm weighing right now. One, obviously it's good content because it's drama and people think that's funny. A potential negative, though, is that you're platforming somebody who's going to get more popular off of engaging in what is kind of sexual harassment, pretty overt sexual harassment, I think, which is probably not good. Two, the other women that are involved in it probably end up, if he's like being really public about their names, might end up being further harassed, although that might happen anyway.
Bro, people online are so weird.
On the flip side, being able to have a conversation with somebody about pretty sexually poor behavior, sexually poor, that's a better terminology, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, what do you, oh, okay. You know why they're sexually poor? Because of capitalism. Kind of your fault.
Could theoretically be beneficial.
What the fuck is this thing? It's fucking crazy.
I don't know. Oof.
Vaush ends up coming into the chat.
My face when Destiny is always defending Train. Maybe really Train. Wait, hold on. I never defended Train ever. Okay, I said that Trainwrecks shouldn't have said that shit to those girls, but this is on a way different level. Okay, a lot of these were public fucking messages. It's not good. I'm not saying what Train did was good. Oh no, and now you got Train fucking calling me. No, fuck, no. Oh my god. This is totally on a different level. I'm in the bathroom. I'll call you in 30 minutes. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna call. Oh man, this is so fucking awkward.
Oh yeah, baby, we're gonna do it. It's time for the gooning. Damn, he could have just let it go, and that would have been it for Vaush. Destiny. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, man? Come on.
What's his name? Oh.
I'm level 190, bitch.
Okay, let me get a Red Bull, and we'll fucking do it. We can talk to JF. Let me in on this voice meme. This isn't a meme combo. This is a serious comedy. Fuck off. He thinks you always disliked him. That's because he thinks that I always disliked him because like I don't want to like make this like a comprehensive thing.
Does he actually think that, or is he just saying that because it's a part of his manipulation tactic and you're falling for it? Pussy.
I have not always disliked Irish, but like there are a couple of people where every time I have certain conversations on screen, they always message me like, "Hey, can I come on and talk about this?" And a lot of the times I just like don't usually respond. 'Cause I don't have time to like drag everybody on.
Well, yeah, because he's desperate to push his platform and his career out there, so he's just harassing people. Another boundary issue. There you go.
I've had Irish like.
I mean, it's okay to advocate for yourself, be like, "Hey, can I come on?" or whatever, but like constantly doing it, come on.
On here quite a bit, but I guess like he has this feeling that like I've been ignoring him, or I don't pay attention to him, or that I'm like intentionally ignoring him because I hate him. Like that's like I don't think I've ever given an indication publicly that I've ever hated Irish laddie, right? I've never.
It's interesting though. It's very interesting that like okay, so I think it's a manipulation technique, but like let's say Vaush actually does at this point have this concept of like I think Destiny hates me because he's ignoring me when I ask to come in to have conversations. Okay. Very interesting that when it comes to the girl, you'll say, well, this is from what I remember. He'll talk about how, like, oh, he miscommunicated. Part of it was his autism, and he didn't understand the boundary, blah, blah, blah. But Destiny just doesn't talk to him during a conversation. All of a sudden, this guy might not like me. He's very perceptive when it suits him. But he understands these boundaries when it suits him, but he doesn't understand. You know what I mean? Like, am I making sense? Am I making sense?
I don't think I've ever said that. Have I? Like, I've platformed him like plenty for like hours and hours and hours. But like, yeah, basically he'll like message me allowed to come on and I'll say like, oh, well, I usually just don't respond because I get a lot of people do this. And yeah, he's just gaslighting me. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Holy fuck.
The man of the hour.
You know, generally in the past, I feel as though you've been a little bit more cautious with your rhetoric when talking about slander or accusations against public figures, which I guess I am now, kind of, to an extent. Like, just speaking frankly, talking about this without calling me and then panic banning me from the Discord and from the server.
Panic ban. Oh, Vaushy poop.
Oof, I
think it's a bad look for you, Destiny. The manipulation continues.
I don't know. I mean, cool.
Yeah, so the problem is that we've gotten these complaints for like I think about a year, where like you've been like really sexually aggressive from a variety of people.
Okay.
Yeah, that you're like really sexually aggressive. Generally, I ignore them because I don't really care. But man, that collection of logs was I was some pretty sweats to these stuff there, man.
Literally, I mean, okay. So in the context of this conversation, obviously it's your platform here. Do you want me to try and defend myself? Or...
Knock yourself out.
Okay. I just told half of the story to my stream. Sure. Yeah, so the clips there they curtailed over a series of months between myself and different people, and sometimes other people and different people that have been, of course, obviously they've been cut together to make me look as bad as possible. If the goal is to make me look bad, that is what you would do. You certainly wouldn't showcase any context that makes me look good.
What's the context that could possibly make him look good?
So to put it frankly, in my combos with Poppy, because that's the main figure here, she's been trying to get me in trouble for like years in this community, and has succeeded.
Then why are you continuing to engage with this person? If
to some extent, this is not new drama. All of this has been discussed before in D.GG.
Okay, so let's say for instance that what you're saying is true. Why would you continue to DM her?
There you go.
I didn't. I haven't DM'd Poppy in a really long time.
Okay, but you clearly DM'd her at a point to where you thought that she didn't like you, and you were saying which is exactly why you were saying like if I give you my dick pics, you're gonna leak them. So why would you have that type of conversation with somebody if you already know that?
Hold on, I'm not familiar with all the fucking memes. Let me see if I can.
The memes he calls it.
The
or maybe
collection of images here. Poppy and I stopped talking after a time, and then Poppy blocked me and started to accuse me of harassing her.
Yeah, well, I could see why.
Then Poppy created a new account, and there were several times during that time, after the creation of a new account, that I felt as though I could reason with her and be like, "Hey, can you stop calling me a literal rapist? All I did was act cringy to you over Discord DMs."
Wait, hold on 1 second.
Oh god, he's got his fucking alarm on. Destiny's got his what is it? Smoke detector going. There we go. I need that.
Okay, wait. So let's back up. Okay.
Yeah, please.
Why? So like when? So okay. So I understand that. So from your goal, I think you understand that there are messages here that are totally unacceptable. So what we're trying to use context to ease, to kind of ease like the sting of some of these messages. But like for like a series of messages like I know you want to see my dick, but you're a spiteful fuck, and I know you'd share my dick pics around, even though it's in the exact upper spectrum of your preferred dick size range, right? For messages like these, it's pretty clear that you already know that this person doesn't like you, but you're still making these like highly sexual advances.
Yeah. But Poppy's just trying to get me in trouble.
after they've explicitly, like, continually not engaged with anything you've said.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In regards to that specifically, I think I remember the specific interaction. The reasons for that were because in public d.gg, so not in DMs, Poppy was making posts which were alternatively critical and weirdly praising him, not flirtatious necessarily, but they made comments about how it was something along the lines of like, I wouldn't even mind you, or something like that. And I was really angry about this because this is the same person who had for a period of months prior, had accused me of engaging in sexual harassment, sending nudes, even though I've never sent a nude to Poppy in my entire
Wait, so
life.
do you think that if somebody
So then why would you? None of this makes any sense. What?
says that they wouldn't necessarily mind you physically, that's like carte blanche then to go ahead and launch into full like dick pic invitation tirades and DMs, or?
I never once in the entire time that I spoke with Poppy did I send Poppy a dick pic. In that specific conversation, I was frustrated with
We saw pee-pee though. Well, we saw a censored pee-pee.
Poppy because it seemed like after months of them calling me a rapist, they were then making weirdly kind of like, oh,
I wonder why.
he's not bad comments, which frustrated me. So I said like, hey, fuck you. If I sent you a dick pic, you just leak it and use it as more evidence against me. Given the context and given that prior she'd spent months harassing
Hold
me,
on. Whoa. Okay, I don't know if you normally talk to people with a lot of social problems, but you're lying to me, okay? So you very, very, very clearly in this conversation are looking with some sort of sexual reciprocation. This is not something that you're saying
let me
spiteful.
find the image. Am I? Hold on. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong image. Hold the fuck.
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong. Dude, this guy. The whole thing is that he wants sexual reciprocation. What the fuck is he talking about?
Fuck on. I'm looking at like, is there like multiple fucking albums?
So now,
No. I was just sending my dick pic to send a message. Just like when Vaush said that he said the N-word with a hard R to secure racism. I wonder if I could find that.
we've brought the sexual tension up to a simmering level in here. I know what you're thinking. And then she doesn't engage and talks about Trump, and then you immediately re-engage sexually and say, I know you want to see my dick pic. Like, this is not like...
Oh, I see. Let me see.
And then when you go, and then when you hit it up afterwards with the proof to me...
This is the argument. In this video, I drop an N-bomb. Big one. Hard R. I did this to show my interlocutors that their language doesn't impress me, that their slurs don't frighten or disarm me. You can see from their reaction that it worked. They were clearly taken aback. It was a power move, which I am entirely unashamed of, but I understand how that language might have upset some of you. This is an example of what I would call an invocation of a slur's power for good, but that's a subjective judgment. I invite you all to discuss in the comments, critically or otherwise. And it's interesting because there's another DM right here. I'm going to read off the side. In this video, I sexually harassed a woman. Big time. Way too much. I did this to show my interlocutors that their boundaries don't impress me. That there's respect for women doesn't frighten me or disarm me. You can see from their reactions that it worked. They were clearly taken aback. It's a power move which I am entirely unashamed of, but I understand how that language might come to upset some of you. This is an example of what I call a sexual harassment's power for good.
Amantium became a member.
Thank you so much for the membership. But that's a subjective judgment. I invite you all to discuss in the comments, critically or otherwise.
me and I can trust you, right? Where you're trying to bait out her sending nudes to you. And then in the next message where you continue to say that, like, I know that you enjoy these conversations. These are not the messages of somebody that's being incredibly spiteful because they're upset somebody said something in Discord. This is you hardcore trying to manipulate somebody into sending you new pictures. This is like, there's no other reading of this. Like,
I suppose
I disagree.
I disagree. I never in my life wanted nor expected new pictures from Pop.
Get the fuck out of here. This guy was going on and on and on over and over again about how he's not used to women rejecting him and blah, blah, blah. This guy's fucking so disingenuous. He's such a scumbag.
She doesn't seem to be into me or into that. These messages from 2017.
Doesn't seem. She isn't.
I remember them as I remember them, and it is entirely possible that the specific context which may exonerate or condemn me has been lost to time, or we could just go back and look at the...
Or you just read them and we can realize that you wanted her to fuck with you and she wouldn't, and you got angry about it and you just had to manipulate her.
So would you say that you're not being flirtatious with her in these messages?
I would say that my frustration with her is in some way rooted in sexuality, but no, I have no interest.
What? What does that even mean?
Okay, so if you have no interest of being flirtatious with her...
Wait, this is from 2017, right?
Sure.
This should be before she and I started arguing with one another, because I think that happened in early 2018. Okay,
well, regardless of what it is, I mean, like, it's just like a bunch of like messages where like they're very clearly like not engaging with you sexually, but you keep trying to push them in that direction. So like, yeah, I'm also confident in saying that a lot of this behavior was flirtatious because later on you try to clarify that you shouldn't be flirtatious. Oh, so by the way, I do find your general antagonistic attitude endearing, but I should not flirt with you. Am I reading that right? As though you need to change the behavior already exhibiting.
No. Yeah. If this, I'm sorry. Listen.
No. Yeah.
I thought this was post argument. If this is pre argument, if this is back when she and I were friends,
yeah. Sometimes you got to make sure you categorize when your sexual harassment happens so you can make a good story up.
There was a while where I was really, and this is legitimate, I was confused as to whether or not I was getting like vibes off of her. And I admit the conversation that I had with her belied a pretty extraordinary lack of social graces from my part at certain places. But I do think, and I'm going to be frank about this, and I apologize.
Why don't you just be Vaush about it?
Sounds like overly defensive behavior. This is a conversation which I didn't threaten, didn't demand nudes, never sent nudes unrequited nor unrequested, never did anything which could genuinely constitute harassment, because at this point,
all of this constitutes harassment. What are you talking about?
2018, I would very frequently ask her if my behavior made her uncomfortable, because I am, and I'm going to be fucking frank about this, sometimes a little bit much. I would ask, hey, is this making you uncomfortable? Is my being sort of pseudo-flirtatious making you uncomfortable? If that's the case, I'll stop.
This wasn't pseudo.
I won't do it. And she would say very frequently, no, this is fine, just don't do blank. There was a touch and pull.
Yeah, blank was don't be sexual. That was the blank. And then he continues to be sexual. Dude, he knows what he's doing is so wrong.
Cat and mouse, and I don't mean that in a sexual way. I just mean that these sort of vibes wavered on and off. Environment that persisted for several months until she and I argued with one another, and everything that I had done prior constituted sexual harassment. In spite of my, admittedly, and I say this fully, insubstantial efforts prior to come off, I guess, not being fucking weird and cringy. These are cut up segments of a conversation over a period of months from a very, very long chat log between her and I, in which there was no evidence of me harassing, threatening, sending nude pics, or demanding nude pics.
I don't know. I feel like I'm seeing the evidence.
And this is, and you, did I hear this correctly that you compared me to JF over stream?
No, I didn't compare you to JF. I said that if I talked to JF, I could probably talk to you.
Thanks.
So a little bit. But I mean, like,
I don't know who JF
so
is.
I'm basically either left with thinking that you're
Didn't that guy get shot in the head? JFK?
Well, hold on, careful, because I'm kind of like letting you like spin a whole tale that is, I don't think this is like
I
true.
think I just said this very neutrally, but if you would
sure.
like
So like, yeah, so I mean, like, in reading these conversations, to me, it is insanely obvious kind of like what the goal is, right? We're engaging in like a decent level of emotional manipulation in order to make somebody feel bad enough to send you new pictures. It's kind of like what's happened here, right? The threatening them without being friends with them anymore.
Not even kinda. This is what happened there.
You know, withhold advice or not talk to them on a deeper level if they haven't sent you anything. Like these kinds of like conversations seem to be geared towards making a person feel bad enough to send you new pictures. The aggressive, like, why are you so disinterested in being flirtatious with me? The pushing somebody even though they've kind of said they're asexual. Like it seems to me that we're kind of pointing in a particular direction. That's pretty obvious.
I was very confused at certain points because sometimes
there's nothing confusing about it.
Stuff to me that I interpreted as flirtatious.
Sure. So like a normal.
I like that. See, I like that. That's one of the things that I interpreted as flirtatious. I don't know, man. It kind of feels. I don't know. I could be reading into this so much, but it's like that plausible deniability. Well, I interpreted it as flirtatious. I don't know, dude. You're interpreting Destiny as like not as ignoring you when you want to get in on a conversation, as him not liking you, but you somehow can't properly interpret her saying, I don't want to have a sexual relationship with you. I don't know. Kind of, it doesn't really make sense to me. It does. It doesn't add up. I don't think that you interpreted anything. I think that you're just saying you interpreted it that way.
So, like, the responsible thing is, like, if you're confused, then you probably wouldn't lean into it 150%, right?
Yeah, that's why I stopped after this. I completely rethought how I talk to people online after this Poppy.
Whoa.
And I've been really fucking careful about engaging with people.
Yeah, I feel like he only is doing that because he has something to lose now. Now he's not like a nobody. He's an internet presence, and so he realizes that, like, optically it looks really bad. Not because he genuinely wants to change.
Because I am, and I hate to pull this out because this sounds like some bullshit ass fucking invalid self-defense, but I am autistic. Sometimes I miss.
See, there you go. Well, so what? Get the fuck out of here. This guy, like, this has nothing to do with his autism. I think he just uses it as an excuse. He clearly is more perceptive than he leads on to, you know. And get the fuck out of here.
This taught me, among other things, that sometimes, in spite of my best,
and I don't even know if I believe him that he's autistic. I'm trying to be an asshole, so
intentions, I can kind of fuck it up. So since then, I've been really careful about how I talk to people. Poppy has, despite no contact with her over the past year and a half. Well, I mean, there have been minor bans, but it was all public and mostly stuff by her insulting me, has been over the past year and a half trying to get me fucking ruined over this. Because she is, I don't know if she believes this genuinely or if this is a narrative that she's woven together because it serves her interests. Because she...
I bet my dick would look colossal in Poppy's hands. Poppy knows my deep dish prolapse dicking bloodline technique. Wow, incredible. Would something great. I bet Poppy's never been stretched so far that her butthole pops out a little bit. Wow, that's a beautiful thing, brother.
He wants to paint me as somebody who has this habitual tendency of sneaking into the DMs of like mentally unwell young girls and trying to emotionally cajole them into.
Oh, I would believe it 100%. Absolutely, 1000%. I think those are the only people that'll engage with him are people that he can manipulate.
I mean, the other person is like,
that's even more defensible. That is so beyond.
The other person this is a person whose my contact is limited to a few emails, and even I know that she is like pretty mentally like not. I don't want to say not all there because it sounds very rude, but this is somebody that I would like urge extreme caution with dealing with. And
yeah, and the conversation that gets cited when people are talking about my negative relationship. Wait, can we not say their name? Are they like anonymous? I won't if they don't.
I mean, I'd prefer not to, but
okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I can say Bobby. I assume she's sort of classed all of this. But in regards to that person, the conversation that we had that people miscite or that test out. Fuck. Oh my god. No, forget it. That's not even their name anymore. Listen, my apologies. That conversation was one in which I wanted to talk with them and tell them to stop. That's not even their name anymore. Conversation that we had that people miscite or that test out. Fuck.
You see what he did there? Oh, what a scumbag! What a scumbag! Oh, this is so. Hold on.
Sort of classed all over this, but in regards to that person, the conversation that we had that people miscite or that test out. Fuck.
He dropped her name and then pretended that it was an accident. After, like, oh, am I allowed to drop this person's name? Okay, I won't do it. Oops, I dropped the person's name. Oh, that's not even their name anymore. Bro, get the fuck out of here. That's so intentional. Dude, this guy's disgusting.
Oh my god. No, forget it. That's not even their name anymore. Listen.
Wow.
That conversation was one in which I wanted to talk with them and tell them to stop
Dude, that's so scummy. There's no way that was an accident. Get the fuck out of here.
thirsting after me, because I did not believe that our values were comparable such to the extent that I could do anything other than like sort of fuck with her brain. You know what I mean? I can give the context on that because that is so insanely defensible. It was literally, I was part of the Polychat's Discord, a subservient of your Discord. They were pretty cool. And this person was thirsting after me fucking hardcore. This is a fact. You can check. This was unrequited, at least initially, and instigated by them. I would be in like a voice channel publicly, like with 10 other people, and they would post in the Discord chat like, I'm so fucking horny right now, his voice. And in Twitter, they'd be like, I thought about him all day.
I'm so fucking horny now. Vaush's voice makes my cock so hard. Dude, come on. Listen, does Vaush have an attractive voice? I don't know. Maybe I don't think so. What is attractive about the guy? I don't know. Maybe if you have like something wrong with you, there's something about the voice that just like signals something to you. I don't know.
Some pretty like yikesy obsessive shit.
Isn't this kind of like the difference between like a woman being sexual versus like objectifying somebody? Like just because somebody says that they might be horny or something in a public Discord doesn't necessarily mean that's an invitation to start firing off DMs that are like
this level
of
DM'd
sexual
me
aggression.
Then they DM'd me and started asking other people how they could get me to ask to send dick pics without them having to ask for it because they're a hardcore Christian and don't believe in that. They initiated the DMs. They initiated the public flirtation.
Wait, so you're telling me that there's DMs of this person DMing you and saying, "Would you please send me dick pics?" But I don't know how to ask for it.
No, there are other people. I don't know if they would vouch for me or not, but I'm not going to rely on it. But it was in a public.
I don't know if they'll vouch for me or not. That's where the name comes from, guys. That's why he changed his name Vaush. They don't know if they'd vouch for me or not. Oh, Vaush. That's a great name.
Voice call with about 12 people. I wasn't there at the time, and apparently this person was asking, "Oh my God, how do I get him to send dick pics?"
So somebody said maybe that this person might have wanted my dick pics. No proof, and I believed it. Whoa, smart guy.
I don't want to ask. Again, this isn't like crux evidence. I can get to the extent of it because I can explain this very quickly.
Well, the problem it's not like I know that you can explain it because I know I'm sure you got an explanation for everything. But like when I look at these messages,
don't you think it's a little bit unfair of you to get a bunch of clipped up pictures that other people have compiled over like a year and a half, use that as an argument?
I mean, there are things that are out of context, but like this is him being like super sexually aggressive when they say stop.
It's me, and then like delegitimize my attempting to defend myself because like of course you have an excuse. Don't you think that's like kind of a bit shitty? I'm really trying to present this neutrally. If you think that my language,
I'm really trying to present this neutrally, guys.
is too biased, I can adjust it.
Well, like I mean, so like for instance, like when I look at this, so you're telling me that this is a person that is like secretly like thirsting for your dick. Apparently,
it's not secret.
Okay, it's not secret. But when you have a private conversation with them, in every single message, they are never, ever, ever engaging with you sexually with any of the things that you're saying. Whether you're talking about obtaining news,
yeah, just show a picture just show something where she's sexually engaging with you. Vaush. There you go. That's all you have to do.
The person, not only are they not engaging, they're often pivoting to like a whole other topic point, or explicitly expressing like disinterest. Like I'm not going to press you on this. Like we're trying to change the subject or something, or explicitly stating that they're asexual. Yeah, like.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. There's a mountain of evidence from that Discord and the people in that Discord that they were insanely fucking flirtatious with me.
Okay, in private CMs or what?
I don't know what logs or what cut up segments of a conversation were released to you, but if I could get a couple of my boys on the line. No.
My boys. Wow.
Just anyone who was in that server.
Can I get a couple of my boys on the line? How about you just show the fucking DMs where she reciprocated?
This was all very public, but it was a small
I got to get my boys on the line.
server, so let me just explain this very briefly. Because
Jesus, Vaush is a disgusting human being.
This is really simple. They were super fucking flirtatious with me. I engaged with it for a time because I am, admittedly, weak. And I like it when people are nice to me and flirtatious with me. It makes me feel loved and, appreciated and shit. But over time, it became clear to me that they were not mentally well. And I really don't mean that in an illegitimate way. That doesn't mean their feelings are invalid or that they're not capable of accusing me of doing heinous shit. They weren't mentally well. So I thought, okay, I shouldn't be fucking around with this. I had a conversation with them that lasted for about an hour and a half over voice, where I was one half, like, flirty flirt, but other half being like...
One half flirty flirt. Uwu. Kawi. Kaiwei.
Hey, yo, seriously, though? I'm a non-monogamous polyamorous fucking pan dude. You're like a...
Oh, my God. He's a pan dude, guys.
Christian... No sex before marriage, and you're like.
Listen, Vaush is like a mostly straight white cisgender male. Let's be real here.
Okay? About the arousal you're feeling.
All right, he's weaponizing the LGBTQ community, guys.
Towards me, we shouldn't do this. This isn't good. Nothing good.
Fucking white people are always trying to be something. You know what I mean? They're always trying to be cool. Oh, I'm not straight. Oh, I'm not this. I'm not that. They're always trying to have an identity because they're not unique. Am I right? Am I right? My fellow black people. White people.
After that, they fasted for 3 days.
Whoa.
As a product of that conversation. No food.
Then why?
After that, I realized I was done with them.
What?
Shortly after they returned from their 3-day fast, Poppy showed up in that server. And Poppy started talking about... Okay,
what the hell is he talking
I'm really trying to frame this neutrally, but
this framing doesn't make any sense. It's just rambling. It's yapping.
It's literally what happened.
I just don't see how, like, if you thought somebody was like mentally compromised wasn't able to make these types of decisions, wouldn't this come before like months of very highly sexually aggressive, unreciprocated conversations?
That was with Poppy. The other person I talked with for a total of 9 days. Discord DMs confirmed that. I went in the poly chat server. They acted thirsty. 9 days of conversation. I stopped talking with them. Poppy is the other person. I've already explained that to the greatest.
Wait, if you've only talked to them for 9 days, then wouldn't that mean you should be even more cautious when being very sexually aggressive in DMs?
I wasn't sexually aggressive in DMs. They were sexually aggressive towards me. And I reciprocated because, like I said, I'm weak. I agree. And especially now, well, I wasn't even a public figure back then. But now that I am, I recognize that there's going to be like a weird fucking parasocial like shit that I have to deal with. But at that time, it was literally just somebody being like, holy shit, his voice is so fucking hot.
Okay, wait. So when you hear things like along the lines of like when you're telling somebody that they enjoy your sexual advances, even though they make them uncomfortable, how am I supposed to reconcile those types of messages?
From the other person who is not Poppy?
Yeah,
what?
No, to the other person that is not Poppy.
Because I knew that like they had like an inner war going on with their like appreciation of me sexually and the fact that they're like a hardcore fucking fundamentalist Christian who doesn't believe in sex before marriage.
So just to be clear, Vaush is saying that even though this person is explicitly saying stop doing this stuff, he knew that she actually wanted it. He knew she actually wanted it, so he kept going. Because, you know, that's the thing about men. This is the thing about women. Women don't know when they want to be raped, so obviously you should just rape them. That's the argument that's happening, right? I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, but bro, what the fuck? She just doesn't know? What is wrong with you?
So a lot of this dialectic, if you will, going on in their mind was the disconnect between their religious values and their physical desires. I thought, and pardon my naivete, I thought that maybe by being flirtatious with them, or like at least engaging with their sexuality,
You're not being flirtatious. You're being sexually aggressive as fuck.
I could help them be less self-hatey about it, and maybe like because I'm like my GF is a sex educator. It's just something.
Wow, my damn, is that how I sound when I say my wife's a behavioral specialist? Do I sound that cringe?
That I'm interested in.
My girlfriend's a sex educator. Wow, I mean, apparently you've learned nothing from her. You must not respect her then, because you've learned nothing about boundaries from her.
Like, okay, like, all right, you hate yourself because it's sinful to lust, but you lust after me. Maybe we can explore these feelings. And I did. This is a combo we had publicly, by the way, in the public voice channel. Maybe we can explore these feelings in a way that doesn't make you want to.
Thank God it's a voice channel, so there's no actual proof, huh?
Like fucking hurt yourself.
Okay, so like everything. Okay.
She's just playing a little hard to get. I know that she wants me to get her though, so I'm gonna keep pushing. Push it real good. Do. Part of my naivete.
Man, this is really, really awkward. I love you very much. I understand. I'm pretty sure I understand your inner thought process so well right now. And maybe with
Destiny's a fucking idiot here, huh?
another person, maybe this would work. But like everything you just told me is a massive lie.
Never mind. It doesn't work. Why do you love him though? That's the weird thing, is that you should have found it disgusted by this guy.
These logs, it's incredibly obvious that what your goal is to get them to sexually engage with you. If your goal was to actually have a conversation with a person and make them more comfortable with their sexuality, there are ways that you can do that. I wish I did these. I'm looking through.
Is it from Poppy or the other person? That's a super valid distinction, right?
I don't know. Like, here's this, right? I actually had a conversation incredibly recently. I wish this was via fucking text. I wish this was with text. I could copy paste it and show everyone what a conversation actually looks like. So I was talking to somebody very recently, and they said that they have there's something called vaginismus or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. But basically, they get very tight and very nervous during sexual activity. And I was curious about that, and we had a conversation about that. But nowhere in that conversation would I say something like, you know, if I would fuck you, I bet that vag would like loosen right up. Or,
I could fuck you, and you wouldn't even have to worry about it because my dick's so tiny in your vagimosis. What is it? I did get a little bit of dome from a girl with vagimosis one time. She had a very tight vagina. It was weird. I wasn't able to have sex with her. It was weird though, man. God bless her. She was nice, but those are my dog days, man.
you know, go down on you. I bet I could tongue you open, baby. Like, I would never say something like that, because if we're actually having like a conversation about like an actual sexual problem that person has, then the conversation will be focused on that problem, not something like God damn it, you are so open to innuendo, your language screams for it, right? Like, holy shit, like these are like
that was I believe that was a poppy log, but if not, I mean
this isn't. This is the other person, right?
This is
and
like
the
a
fact that
poopy
like, you're not really
log.
making. Well, hold on, because I just said you're talking like
more like a poopy log.
5 minutes, okay? Like the fact that you're
still on trial here.
Well, yeah, sure. Well, this is an execution, not a trial, okay? But when I'm looking through these logs, it's not really like you're interested in talking about.
This is the weird thing about that. I like Destiny. He's a smart, very smart guy. But like, why would you ever continue to associate with these people ever, or have any desire ever even consider it? This guy Vaush is like really Mr. Girl level of fucking energy, of gross stuff, man. Gross stuff.
Problem, the interest is squarely focused on yourself, because like I said, there are ways that you could talk in which you would be talking about that problem, but you're not. You're trying to get them to like.
You haven't looked through the logs. You looked through the logs that people have cut up.
Death is coming.
Sure, but there are
logs. I can explain everything here.
I can explain
I did not. Listen, I didn't mean. If I just made it sound as
everything.
though I was just trying to act as a sex educator with the person we're talking about, that's not true. Like I said, they were flirtatious with me. I am weak. I reciprocated the flirtation. I believe it is possible to be flirtatious with somebody and also engage with them like on a discourse about their sexuality and their level of comfort. In the log you just sent me, they were like, "Hey, maybe tone it down a bit." And after, by the way, after messages that they had sent both in public.
Okay, wait, hold on. Before jumping to another topic. So let me.
It's not. It's the same topic you just brought me up on. You literally sent me this, asked me to explain it, and then started talking over me. This is not a different topic. This is what you just gave me.
Okay. Well, but the topic that I guess I want to focus on is whether or not you were trying to help this person, or whether or not you were just trying to get nudes or get into a sexual relationship with this person.
Never wanted nudes from this person. Never asked for nudes from this person.
But you were trying to be. Your goal was to get into a sexually explicit relationship with this person, right?
No, my goal initially was to be in the polychat server and chat with people who I liked.
Okay, so then let's see how like a normal person would read this and take away from this, right? Sometime in the near future, I would like you to clarify what you meant when you said, "Don't know how I make you feel." So this seems like something that's more pointed to you and not necessarily a problem. So it's obvious you find me cute. The feeling is mutual, so I like you as well. You also, on some level, do enjoy my sexual advances, so they do make you uncomfortable. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, so I won't make you more. That being said, what do you want moving forward? It seems like this is a conversation about a potential sexually explicit relationship between you and this person, not a conversation about like their problems. I won't lie. I'm very curious as to your thought process on my sexual advances. See, I've never been inhibited. It's difficult for me to imagine the mind of someone simultaneously.
I've never been inhibited. It's just like I don't believe that. What?
Intrigued and uncomfortable. These aren't like the logs. Again, like if I was having a conversation.
This is a conversation where I was being more explicitly sexual with them after their consent and reciprocal sexual behavior. This is not one of the more sort of technical discussions on how religion relates to sexual self-hatred. That was done more in public. Again, I just said this. I never said that I didn't engage with them sexually, but I thought in the context of this convo that I was being relatively responsible, because what you're not seeing is all of the times they were like, "I'm literally fucking tripping about this guy right now. I want him to send me dick pics. I want him to."
So you have
so show us. What is this? Wait, what does this thing even do?
logs of them saying that to you?
I have people who heard over voice. Almost all the contact with this person was over voice, but I can prove that there are logs from their Twitter where they posted tweets that were unambiguously about me. There were other people who saw them post shit like that in the polychat.
Okay, but again, you understand that them saying something like, "I find this person attractive," or even "this person makes me dripping," that doesn't give you the right to go into their DMs and act in an incredibly.
They went to my DMs and they initiated conversations about sex with me.
So then why don't you show us that, brother?
Yeah, I've already answered this. Listen, Destiny, I really feel like you're not giving me a fair shake here. I feel like I'm explaining this.
Well, what you feel like is you kind of like wrap together a fairly convincing narrative that would hopefully make me forget about a lot of what I'm reading, and you're trying to tie it together using evidence that we can't look at right now, which is ambiguous voice chats by people that aren't willing to come forward and corroborate any of them.
I never said they aren't willing. There are people who I know who probably would talk about it. It's not all voice chats. There are public chats in d.gg and in polychats which collaborate with what I've said. For 2 or 3, I forget what.
Well, the public chats don't make you any better because the public chats are you making like very, very sexually explicit comments again about Poppy.
With Poppy, and a lot of those public chats were in a heated argument where she was calling me a rapist. And yeah, I go full fucking tilt when people call me a rapist. I'm sorry.
Wait, full tilt isn't like I bet Poppy's never been stretched so far that her butthole pops out a little bit. Like this is your response to somebody flaming you?
You literally posted a picture of a burning cross to somebody who said that being a black in America is lit. I do not want to hear your take on optics when it comes to you defending yourself in an argument, when it comes to making yourself like look bad in the public.
Yeah, sure. Okay? So I can defend what I did if you care to hear it, right?
I know.
No, hold on, because now I want you to do the same for yours as I do for mine, right? So I had a bunch of black nationalists that were tweeting at me that were denying the fact that black people had trouble in the United States. They were saying that black people have always had a rich and powerful and good history in the U.S. and that a lot of people overblew the troubles that black people face. And their final response was like, actually, being black in the U.S. is lit because they were trying to deny the fact that black people face a bunch of institutional racism or whatever that exists in the U.S. And my tweet back to that, obviously, well, how could you say that, right? Like, obviously, the fucking KKK should exist. So my tongue-in-cheek tweet back was, here's a picture of a burning cross, like, lit, you say, right? It was very edgy, sure. But like, that was my take on that. Was it edgy? Sure. Was it racist? I mean, I don't think so, considering the point that I was spending. Now, what I'm curious is, and you can take issue with my explanation or not, that's fine. What I'm curious is how does like somebody that's accusing you of sexual assault, how do you make a message like, I bet my dick would look colossal in Poppy's hand? How was that defending in the same way?
Not sexual assault. Come on. Not sexual assault. Sexual harassment. Those are 2 very different things. No one.
Yeah, they are 2 very different things, to be clear. But if you're based on, I don't know, I think he's capable. I don't think that's unreasonable to say.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I touched that. Sexual harassment.
I don't know why either, Destiny. Okay, yeah. And
probably because that's just the vibes you get.
I was friends with somebody for 3 or 4 months where they had made alternatively suggestive statements towards me that I confirmed.
So then just show them. Just be like, listen, give me 20 minutes and I'm going to go find in the DMs the stuff that she had said that was like suggestive to me, okay? Oh, no problem. Well, wait.
Then we're not intentions of actual sexual arousal, but we're just like bants or I don't know. Sometimes interpreting people's intentions is a little bit hard. Then out of nowhere, all of these conversations we had in the past, which I had asked her if she were comfortable with and if they constituted harassment, and she had said no. She was suddenly saying all these things were sexual harassment. She was making a huge fuss about it in your Discord, and she was accusing me not only of being a sexual harasser, not only of being a brocialist and a fake feminist and a shitty human being, but also, broadly speaking,
I believe he's a real male feminist. Male feminists are always fucking predatory pieces of shit.
Of being sexually adequate because I have to, and I believe this may actually be a direct quote, try to coerce nudes out of mentally handicapped girls to get his rocks off.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It sounds like Vaush. He probably gets off to the power dynamic. That's why he likes seeing lolicon drawn child porn in the hands of, with a big horse cock in their hands, because he's just a disgusting fuck.
And in the context of that argument, there were dozens, if not hundreds of people swarming around the public channels talking about how, because Poppy had made comments that were suggestive about me in public before, talking about how Poppy was just mad that I wouldn't fuck her or something like that. So in the heated context of me being fallaciously accused of sexual harassment by somebody who in the past said I had done no such thing in the moment,
even though you are sexually harassing them. Oh, in the past where they said that they did no such thing. Actually in one of the DMs, she says that she doesn't necessarily... Wait, hold on. This one is a self-report to me. Wait.
The heated context of me being fallaciously accused of sexual harassment by somebody who in the past said I had done no such thing in the moment. So
listen. Okay, I remember when we were just listening to these, one of the things that happened was he got exposed for sexually harassing another girl, And then this person he was talking to was like, oh, you know, I feel like you might have done this to me too. But she's like, I don't think it was sexual harassment, but I want to talk to you about it. And he's like, oh, I don't know, maybe later or something. Is that him admitting that the chats were real? Am I making sense with what I'm saying right now?
Surrounded by people who were making fucking edgy jokes about how my sexual virility was such that she was just jealous she wasn't going to get any of it. Yeah, I made some edgy jokes about me having a gigantic fucking 30-foot penis that could...
Okay, but a lot of these comments, these aren't even happening in the middle of arguments. These are you just coming out of nowhere. So Poppy talks about taking a 4-minute shower. A couple people don't know that you can take a 4-minute shower. People argue it. And then out of nowhere, you come in with the Poppy knows...
4-minute shower? What?
My deep dish prolapse dicking bloodline technique and blah, blah, blah. And this is like completely out of nowhere. Like nobody's talking about this at all. And then you talk about soaping up your cock afterwards. Like nobody in here is having any sexually explicit conversation whatsoever.
How do you know 5 minutes ago she wasn't going full fucking tilt against me? Like you have no way of knowing. And you would never be this irresponsible about jumping to conclusions in any other case.
I mean, there's not a lot of... We're not jumping to any conclusions.
I've seen you defend allegations against other streamers, and I know you have a monetary interest in keeping the relationship.
Whoa!
Yeah, Vaush is going hard, dude. He's feeling defensive.
Hold on. This is no, hold on. Because I am upset about this. There is nothing wrong.
I am upset about this.
With being critical or skeptical. I am a charismatic person. It is totally possible, conceivable, that I could be using my, I don't know, charisma, my following to fucking sneak in DMs and be shitty towards people. That is a completely valid thing to think about me, and I invite...
Why is it a valid thing to think about you? Why would you even say that? He's like, it's so weird when you hear people try to be like so dishonestly I guess you'd say charitable. Like if I was not in DMs trying to manipulate people into sending me dick pics, if I'm not actually doing that, why would I be like, yeah, I could understand why you'd think that about me? That's fucking weird, dude. What?
People to be skeptical of my intentions. What I do not invite is you platforming this on stream before getting a chance to speak to me. And as I come in to speak to you, you instantly ban me without even talk. You don't even say, "Oh, hi, I can't talk to you." You just summon Mr. Moo.
Pardon me. Well, that's because I wasn't sure if I. That's because I wasn't because I'm familiar with the way that you talk in the conversations on the logs, and I knew that you would speak in a similar way right now, which you are. So I'm a little bit hesitant.
I try and defend myself. Then why ask me to defend myself if you believe that any sort of defense I can corroborate is just evidence of the charisma that I was using to engage in harassment in the first place?
He's giving you a chance.
Only a morbid sense of curiosity. But
no, but that's fine. That's fine.
Oh no, wait, hold on. We can't move past the fact that hold on. You accuse me of defending people out of monetary interest.
Oh, I'm so sorry if my accusations towards you in this conversation have been wild, friend. So if you don't believe...
Well, the difference is...
Friend.
I am substantiating mine. What do you mean? How do you mean that I am... tell me which streamers you think I let slide. You're talking to the #1 bridge burner on Twitch. Please tell me which streamers you think I let slide on things that I should be calling out on. I would love to hear this for financial motivation.
Sure. To clarify, broadly speaking, in the past, I've heard that you are not only not a fan of breaking news, but
I've heard, by the way,
generally a fan of not commenting on drama as it's festering. You usually don't like to comment on something until you have both sides of the issue. I remember this from the hotel drama. You have a YouTube bot about it, where you were talking about, I don't even remember who it was, but it was a YouTube bot. You were talking about it. There was some hotel drama. Somebody accused somebody else of being weirdly flirtatious or crass or whatever, and you said that you didn't want to comment on this specifically as other people came in to comment because you felt as though it would be irresponsible for you to do so without full context. In the context of that, by the way, that person was accusing the streamer of booting them out on the street for not having sex with them, engaging in behavior far worse than the worst allegations that are thrown against me. But in spite of that difference, you are still willing to give them benefit of the doubt. And
I mean, you have the chat logs that you still haven't even denied exist. I think it's a little bit different.
Throw me under the bus to an audience of thousands, and then ban me to keep me from talking about it.
So the problem is like this,
and then he's in there right now. So it's the banning you mean to keep me from talking about it doesn't even exist.
Evidence of my charisma.
Well, the problem is like this isn't like just breaking news. This is like literally stuff that is like been boiling over for the past like few years.
It happened once a year and a half ago, and since then the same person has been trying to get me in.
We've saw in one of the DMs that it happened more than once because Vaush was being accused of sexually harassing somebody like in the DMs by. She's like, "Oh, you were harassing this person? Like maybe you did it to me too."
The same trouble for that length of time, and it seems that she is finally expect you to be so unscrupulous as to just dive into this. But listen, if you're only having me on here for morbid curiosity, and you just think that me trying to give context to these context-free DMs is evidence of my charisma, which I use to manipulate and harass women or whatever, then that's not fine. I think that's really shitty. But if that's the case, then I'm not interested in discussing this. I was hoping this would be an opportunity to explain things to you, but I feel like you made up your mind.
I was hoping that you'd be more reasonable.
Okay, well, I think that you two should get into hash it out, and I'm really curious what the full logs would look like.
I can post them to a what are they called? The thing you can upload all the discussion.
Image or paste bin, because I'm real curious.
Oh, I think I remember he posted the whole logs, and it was not any better.
How you can ever justify a lot of these messages are pretty.
Yeah, no. You do recognize though that even if the worst accusations levied here are true, the worst they could be accused of me is being kind of weirdly manipulative with one person over DMs a year and a half ago.
You like that? He's like, even if it is true, by the way, it's not really that bad. That's what he just said. Like, dude, he knows. He's setting the fucking playing field, bro.
You do realize that even if everything I'm saying is a lie, that is the worst thing that can be.
Well, no, the worst thing is that you engage in a repeatable pattern of behavior where you try to be very sexually aggressive towards a lot of the women in chat in order to make them uncomfortable enough to send you pictures, and then if they don't, you either act very aggressive towards them, like by telling them you can't continue conversations anymore, or you continue to sexually harass them until they either give in or block you or go crazy or whatever.
It hasn't. I mean, none of this has happened. That's an extrapolation that you can make based on Poppy.
Well, based on Poppy, the other person, and other people.
The other person, I've explained in totality. The other person has been explained in totality, and there was nothing more to be said about that. But again, I tried to talk about this with Poppy over a dozen times over the past year and a half.
Wow, why would she want to talk to you? You're a fucking creep.
Multiple times I tried to bring them in calls. Other people have tried to bring them in calls with me. It hasn't happened. They're not interested in talking about it. I have made conciliation after conciliation to Poppy and people who believe her. None of it seems to work because it is really, really easy to. And by the way, I totally get this.
Why would she want to reconcile with some fucking like sexual harasser? What the hell?
Because, you know, believe women #me too and shit. It's really easy to understand the narrative of a kind of like charismatic, sexually aggressive dude who goes around manipulating women to try and get the news.
Charismatic, sexually aggressive. Really jacking himself off there. Maybe if he did a little less of that, he wouldn't be in that scenario.
In this instance, I don't believe that the facts back up that assertion. I don't believe that's the case. I've defended myself on this issue multiple times. None of the drama has changed since I last defended myself about it. None of this is private. All
Let's be real. Though, if there was a political meetup, I would absolutely be able to seduce Poppy.
of it is public. It has only been made public as of this moment because you have now suddenly been made aware of it.
No, I mean, people have been making me aware of it for a long time, but I think over the past few...
All related to the Poppy situation. I would actually love for you to find anyone who isn't Poppy or the other person who we're trying not to name, who would accuse me of this. Because I, generally speaking, am very cautious with talking to people because of Poppy. Poppy has taught me that you can never, ever trust people online. Because you can conversate with them for a long time and believe that you're not harassing them, and then after you stop being friends with them, they'll try and turn everything you said against them into a mode of harassment. But I'll happily, I'll leak, well, it's not a leak, it's my logs. I'll throw the pastebin logs out there. I've defended myself thoroughly many times on this. I guess I just hoped for some kind of...
I was wishing that you would just be a little bit more charitable, a little bit more reasonable, Destiny.
amicability or reciprocal respect from you, but I feel like your mind's made up, and that's that.
I feel like your mind's made up. It's a lot of the focus of this conversation is just trying to get the audience to buy into the narrative that Destiny would never engage in this reasonably. It's all a manipulation tactic. It's like, I guess your mind's made up. It's just constantly reinforcing that like he's not trying to parse through this in a reasonable way, and instead Instead, he's just made his mind up. There's nothing he can do. Blah, 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 you know?
I don't know. I guess we'll be digging into it over the next few days. I'm sure a lot of people will be talking about it, so...
Yeah, great. I really look forward to these... All right. Well, I can't say that I'm especially happy with this, broadly speaking. Are there any, is there a question, any other salient accusation you'd like to throw my way? Again, I'd like to remind everyone listening that the worst thing that can be thrown my way, given the evidence provided, which has been admittedly cut up and out of context, the worst thing that one could accuse me of is being kind of creepy and manipulative with one person or two people, if you don't want to accept my explanation of the second person, over DMs over a period of 2.5 years. Or I guess 2 years now.
Yep, there you go. He's really downplaying it. I guess you got to give it to him. I mean, he's smart. He's smart enough to manipulate the average moron. You got to give him that.
We're not all the way done with 2019. So if the worst of that being corroborated by out-of-context DM links is I like, by the way, how in the images, the DMs that were provided, they blacked out the pictures I sent them as though there were nudes there. That's really funny. There's nothing nude in either of the pictures that had black bars put over them. It's funny, though. It makes me look, shittier than I actually came off in the context.
I mean, I don't think they have to be actually nudes. I mean, you're shooting off pictures of people while you're either in bed or in the shower, and they clearly said that they...
I was clothed, and it was a picture of my forehead. And yes, the knee picture, I took a picture of my knee, and it was like, here's a dick picture, but it was my knee. There's no nudity in the photo. I made sure of that. I was very careful.
So show it.
Yeah, I agree. That's yikesy. I think that's probably the worst thing I did over all of this, because Poppy had demonstrated no sexual interest, and I had joked it. She was like, no, as long as there's no dick pics. So then I sent something that is technically not a dick pic. And the joke there is, of course, that I technically fulfilled the requirements of her request without adhering to the spirit. Now, obviously,
technically,
not the best joke. I've apologized to her.
Is it like a forehead picture with his dick in it also?
About it, both privately and publicly multiple times. But if that's the cross to bury on, then sure. I don't think that we're getting tremendously far in this discussion. And I don't think there's anything I can say to you that's going to change your mind. So before I go, or before you ban me again, or I fucking know, I just want to say to people in chat, I invite skepticism and scrutiny. I am not above the capacity for people to be shitty towards other people or manipulative or whatever. Everyone has the potential to do that, and you should be really fucking incredulous. Okay, that's totally valid. However, I feel as though I have done a decent job contextualizing and explaining myself. And if you have any questions, I am streaming right now.
Do you feel like you've been?
Wow, he's plugging the stream too, dude. What a guy. What a nice guy. What a smart guy, huh?
Banned from other Discord servers for similar behavior because of a single person manipulating things, or do you think you would deserve to be banned from there as well?
The Polychat server is the only other server I've ever been banned from. It was specifically because of the Pastel and Poppy thing. It's just been
great. So he's been banned before.
These two people. There are no other
people.
Wait, unless so not just Poppy then, but for the other person as well, right?
Yes, because the other person because I told you, they fasted for 3 days after we had a conversation in which I engaged with them flirtatiously, but ultimately said that I wasn't interested in continuing this long term because we had very different values concerning sexuality. Then they came back after 3 days, along with Poppy. Poppy started rambling. I'm sorry, that's loaded language. Poppy.
Okay, I know you don't care. All right,
but thank you very much for the platform.
I hope you get better and good luck, buddy. Okay.
Thanks. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Well then, here we are, boys.
Crazy.
Remember a long time ago when people were debating? Oh, I'm stealing a Chris Rock.
Guys, I'm streaming on my channel too. If you want to come check it out, you can blah blah blah. Drama Farm.
Joke. It was between Michael Jackson and Prince, and then all the sexual assault accusations came out against Michael Jackson. Well, here we have Hassan and Irish Laddie. A victor has emerged. Whoa, Jesus.
Damn.
Are you going to air any of your dirty laundry now, how you've treated past girls? So in my early career, I'll be 100% fucking honest. In the early part of my career, I was incredibly fucking bad with some of the girls that I talked to, for sure, definitely. I don't know if I was ever on this tier, but like messing around with girls that clearly had like a romantic interest in me that I wasn't interested in reciprocating, where I probably should have stopped the conversations, but I didn't because they would like send me nude pictures and shit. Absolutely, yeah, I was a big piece of shit early on, probably. I could have been a lot better, but I think that
Well, I don't think that's the same as this.
I think that most of my recent
I mean, he just said that like, oh, I had girls that were interested in me, but I wasn't interested in, but I let them send me tits. That's not the same thing as Vaush like harassing the fuck out of girls.
All of my recent interactions with people is pretty responsible. I mean, if any chick in Discord ever feels like I fucked them over, you feel free to like leak logs. Like I'm pretty comfortable. Like generally when I talk to people, I'm usually like very like hyper focused on making sure they understand like, hey, like you don't have to do this if you're not comfortable. You don't have to send pictures.
You have to do this. Send me your boobs.
If you're not into this, like that's fine. Like I don't have any expectations. Like I'm usually pretty blatant with all of that. But hey, if you're in Discord, you're a girl and you feel like I wronged you, fucking fire them up. Hold me accountable. Knock your stuff out. So.
Damn, dude. Shouldn't have said that. Didn't Lav do that? She was fucking crazy. If
you acknowledge you did shitty things to girls in your past, do you think you'd forgive Irish for doing the same? Oh, yeah, sure. It's not really a matter of whether or not I think you can ever change, blah, blah, blah. It's just that I don't think I can have that type of person like in my Discord right now. It's probably not good for the health of the Discord.
Yum, 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 yum. I'm eating pies in the game. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff, man. Pretty cool. Okay. Is there anything else?
Someone else comes up, will you ban yourself from your own Discord? Yeah. In the stand, if you're affiliating with somebody that has some sort of actually like 25, I guess like
I think
like this conversation is actually really interesting to consider.
I think that's pretty much it on that. So let's watch Vaush's original apology here, okay, on this scenario. Oh, this is his explanation. Oh, look, there's a section. There's a, what is this? A retrospect for the sexual harassment drama. Oh, we can read it first. We can read it first. Wow, there's a whole lot here. Incredible. Here we go. A retrospective of the sexual harassment drama. Let me take the thing off the screen so we can read through this the right way. I should also probably do that. I am, maybe against my better judgment, trying to typing this out to consolidate my perspective on the drama, which has manifested around my having engaged in sexual harassment. I do this in part because I'm lazy and don't like repeating myself, but also because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and having concrete text posts to refer to in the future might make it easier to dispel some of that misinformation. This is going to be a long. I appreciate the diligence, patience, everybody who reads through this to the end. It isn't a complete account. My perspective of it on its own could never be, but it's a summary of events from my perspective, my feelings on the drama, my responses to several persistent points of misinformation, and my apology. I think those things are worthwhile. So, context. About 2.5 years ago, I met a person named Poppy in the Discord of a streamer named Destiny and befriended her. We spoke with one another frequently for a period of about months, after which we had a falling out over some disagreement, which is largely irrelevant in regards to the drama being discussed here. After our falling out, Poppy began accusing me of sexual harassing her over the course of our friendship. I thought at the time this was an outrageous lie and would argue over it frequently and severely in public and private. Nothing came of it. For posterity, the full unedited, save for removing docs, logs of my conversation with Poppy are available here. Wow, he's got the whole thing. Oh, it's gone. It's not there anymore. I wonder why. Okay. What the fuck? Why is this not here anymore? What? Wow. It's gone. It's for sale. It's for sale, guys. You can buy it now. I'm assuming he decided not to keep that up there anymore. Convenient. The logs are very long. They also preface with a meme video somebody made to make fun of Destiny. It's worth a watch. That seems really appropriate considering the context of what's going on here. I just want to zoom in because I'm old and I have a eyesight issue. About 7 months ago, nearly 2 years later, I was a member of a Discord server called Polychads. It was an offshoot of Destiny's much larger, much less intimate server. I was, at this point, just beginning to stream on Twitch. I met a person on there named Pastel. We talked mostly on public voice channels, and at one point even had a debate on the Holodomer. Don't care. Okay. A little while after we began speaking with one another, Pastel indicated some level of sexual romantic interest in me. They were devoutly religious and generally sex negative, so the attention was unexpected. Sometimes they would flirt with me directly. Sometimes they would vague post about me in the server's chat. It seemed like, though, from the logs that we saw, that he okay with flirting, but not sex stuff. But okay. Oh, how do you think I could get him to send me a nude without asking directly? A vague tweeting about me, that sort of thing. This interest in me was discussed and joked about very frequently in the server. I had to reproach and flirt back, of course, so it was all in good humor. Flirting goes places, though, and eventually we started DMing one another. We only flirted directly in private, mostly over voice chat. For a day or two, and Pastel has since characterized engagement as sexual harassment. It is not my intention to imply her previous established interest in me proves I could have harassed them. Harassment can take place no matter the participant's previous level of interest. No, it can't. I don't know about that. Maybe. But nonetheless, I completely disagree with Pastel's characterization of our disagreement. So we saw it. It was sexual harassment. Right. Pretty aggressively. Papa, in the really long VOD, Vaush talks more about how he's a victim and seems to be speaking more genuinely. So I think he's worth watching. I'm not. I don't know if I'm going to watch the vlog. Maybe we'll do for like a little bit. This one, like, how long would I have to watch that? By the way, how in the images? How long would I have to do that? Because I don't really know if I'm like super interested in that. We flirted directly for a day or two afterward. Pastel disappeared for 3 days. When they returned, they told me they'd religiously fasted to purge themselves of the sin they had committed by acting so lustfully with me. This, put frankly, freaked me the fuck out, and I immediately distanced myself from Pastel, telling them I felt they had engaged in self-harm and I wasn't comfortable continuing with any sort of engagement with them. At the time of their return from the fasting, they did not characterize our flirtation as sexual harassment. They thought they did obviously regret it, as evidenced by their fasting. After I distanced myself from them and stopped quickly answering DMs, as I had before, they grew increasingly hostile towards me. At some point, so it's religion's fault. Okay. So when should I start? 6:20 to like 6:25? At some point during that period of hostility, Pastel and Poppy, who was unbeknownst to me, a moderator on Polychads, had a conversation. I had no idea that the conversation took place, what its contents were, or how I came to start it. But I do know that shortly afterwards, Pastel began very publicly accusing me of having abandoned them and used them, just like I did Poppy. I considered this behavior extremely inappropriate and still do. In retrospect, due to the fact that I disengaged from Pastel as soon as it became clear to me continued engagement would no longer be healthy for us either, I was removed from the server there shortly thereafter. A month or two later, edited screen caps of my conversations with Poppy and Pastel were passed up the ladder and given to the streamer named Destiny, who outed them publicly, which are disgusting messages, by the way. I just don't understand. Like, the person clearly did not want you to sex with them. They said stop, and you continued. Like, this is just a gaslight. It's incredible. They clearly just did not want. Like, it's I don't know. What do you call this? Like, intellectualizing? I don't know. He's just being dishonest. The person said stop, even if they had a flirtatious interest in you, and were like, I don't know if I want to do this. And in their mind, maybe they did want to sex with you. They kept saying stop. So it doesn't matter. At this point, you're just effectively telling us that she really did want it. That's all you're saying. Well, she wanted it. That's gross. Hey, that's feminism, though, baby. That's male feminism. And made a tremendously public show of my harassment of Poppy and my alleged harassment of Pastel. I don't know if the stream is really readily available online anymore, but I imagine most people who will bother to read the contents of the post are more or less familiar with what took place during it. I defend myself on Destiny stream very ineptly. Warranted ineptitude, I believe, considering the stress of the moment and my immediate desire to defend myself. Made a video a week afterwards and have since sat quietly and watched the rumors and misinformation metabolized beyond my ability to meaningfully address them. So let's do that in a handy Q&A format. I imagine if what he was saying was right, or he felt, or people were received it positively, he wouldn't be saying this. I feel like it's just feedback. Oh, I got negative feedback, so I didn't go about it the right way. Incredible. Why do you keep defending yourself? Why don't you just admit you fucked up? When I defended myself on Destiny stream, I refused to acknowledge my wrongdoing. After the stream, I reviewed the logs of my conversation with Poppy and came to a different conclusion. I then released this video. What is it? Is this the video that we're gonna watch? In regards to the recent drama, this is the video that he releases. Okay, let's see what the video says. Like, since it's in this, let's pause here, and since this is the video he's linked, let's watch it right now. Let's see what we got here. How's that sound? Okay. Or do you want to watch that 5? Let's watch this 5 minutes that you told me to watch.
Okay,
watch
so
this.
It was there because I told you they fasted for 3 days after we had a conversation in which I engaged with them flirtatiously, but ultimately said that I wasn't interested in continuing this long term because we had very different values concerning sexuality. Then they came back after 3 days, along with Poppy. Poppy started rambling. I'm sorry, that's loaded language. Poppy started discussing.
Okay,
we saw this already.
So that all happened. Then, dude,
wait, after it's done.
People victim and Ryan. Well, I know that Poppy made DMs with her way back a year and a half ago. Wow, look at that. Wow, there sure are a lot of these. We definitely talked a lot back then. Talking about.
What you're talking about, like the point that they hang out?
The other person being was that they were tanky, so I argued with them. Yeah, listen. Again, to everyone who's listening, there's nothing wrong with scrutinizing me or being incredulous or being super fucking like skeptical. I totally invite that. That is 100% okay. Because I am, I'm gonna toot my own horn here, a charismatic person. I am charismatic and I am pretty flirtatious. So it is totally possible that I could be engaging in this behavior where I like manipulate people or like try and like coerce news out of them or whatever. It's fine to be skeptical. I feel, however, that I am currently the victim, and that's victimizing language, I shouldn't use that, but I do feel as though I am the victim right now of a 1.5 year long effort for Poppy to try and besmirch my character to the greatest possible extent. Poppy has been talking about this for a really long time. None of this is new. Again, all of this is out in the open. I just never expected Destiny to buy into it, I guess. I always kind of expected that Destiny.
Yeah. What? So not even to be rude. What is it? What did we get out of this that's like new? It sounds like this is pretty. This is pretty like expected from this is like what he was saying on Destiny. Is there something else?
Would think like, okay, well, I know that Poppy is a huge drama hound that has been banned from the Discord before and frequently lies. These are all things for which she's known. So maybe I'll at least like listen to him before saying a bunch of shit. But that didn't happen. You need evidence before Destiny or anyone not on your side will take you seriously, homie. Yeah, I can look at it right now. Hold on. I can pull up the. Well, I'm not going to do this right now on stream. This seems like an effort. Yeah, here we go. No, wait. Here are my DMs with Poppy, aka Hanami. My original DMs with her, way back a year and a half ago. Wow.
What do you mean no sound?
Look at that.
There's sound on the
Wow, there sure are a lot of these. We definitely talked a lot back then. Talking about JonTron, talking about Nazism, talking about Twitter. Yeah, unless she's gone back and deleted some of these messages, all of this should be recorded. So, yeah, I can release all of this. There's literally nothing here that I'm not open to having a discussion on. Are you going to make the full logs public? Posted by the same person? Every time this happens, it's being posted by Poppy. Poppy is the one instigating this in basically every Tector.gg logs. Yeah, RTBA, Mr. Moot, and Dan have disliked me for a really long time. Well, at least Dan does. I know Dan does. Dan has
Okay, yeah, I don't know if there's anything here that we really got from this.
talked about getting me fucking booted off Twitch. Do it before she
Vaush makes me gross.
Then, yeah, I guess.
For having a ponytail shirt. All right, let's see what his response was.
Hey there, folks. So today we're going to be taking a bit of a departure from the politics that's normally hosted on this channel, and we're going to be discussing some drama that has erupted over the past week or so. There have been a great many
my volume.
people
Yeah, it's not
who have
me.
encouraged me to make a video on this, and at first I resisted, in large part because the behavior of my detractors, the people who have been
Detractors.
making evident their displeasure of my behavior. Their behavior led me to believe that any statement I made, no matter how passive, how conciliatory, how genuine.
I like this feedback loop when he apologizes. He always starts by making sure to frame the situation as like it's all the detractors' fault and nobody's being honest and he's a victim. He did the same thing with his horse fucking lolicon porn bullshit.
It would only worsen the drama, that people would only think
He does sound like Mama Max, huh?
less of me. I still don't know whether or not that's the case, but I do
Fuck.
like to err towards honesty and transparency. So
Yeah, okay.
here I am with the video. Now, I hear you asking, what drama? Not all of you are aware of it, of course. Many of you are, though, I assume.
Okay.
To those of you who are not aware of it, I'm going to do my best to summarize it in language which is as neutral as possible. Obviously, it's impossible for me to genuinely explain anything in neutral language. We're all subject to our own biases, but nonetheless, I will try my best.
Okay.
So, in late 2017, I was a member of a Discord channel which belonged to Destiny, a streamer on Twitch. And in that Discord channel, I became friends with somebody named Poppy.
Poopy.
Poppy was known for her hot takes. I had some hot takes of my own. I thought we could form a friendship. And so we did. We talked for a period of several months, and over the course of that prolonged conversation, we discussed a great many things, often mutually. We discussed, of course, politics, our personal lives, our respective mental illnesses, sexuality, flirting, dating, all that stuff. And I thought at the time that these were perfectly normal, healthy conversations. We had a falling out around, I think, late 2017 or early 2018. I don't.
Yeah, right. But again, in the DMs, it was clearly not two ways. But okay.
It was some dumb argument about feminism or our opinions on problem. I don't remember exactly, but it's unrelated to the drama. But after we had that falling out, Poppy started accusing me quite publicly in that Discord channel of having sexually harassed her over the course of our friendship, over the course of the few months. This was a shock to me at the time, to say the least, because I didn't feel I had engaged in any sexual harassment. But things got quite heated quite quickly. Many of the people on the Discord took sides, myself or her. We said a great many nasty things back and forth with one another. But ultimately, nothing really came of it. And after a short while, things returned more or less to normal. In fact, a little while after that, Poppy and I were able to talk with one another without any shit-throwing on either side. But we never quite overcame that mutual antagonism, which arose from her accusations. So that's that. A few months ago, I was a member of a Discord channel, or server, which was called Polychads. Now that's P-O-L-I, Polychads, as in politics, not P-O-L-Y, as in polyamorous. I've seen people making that mistake. And there was a person on there named Pastel. There's a debate between myself and Pastel, which is one of the earliest videos on this channel. Not that the channel's super old or anything, but still. Anyway, Pastel and I were talking to one another. We ended up debating. That's recorded. That's there for posterity. And it became evident to me a short time after I began speaking with them in the server that they were interested in me sexually. This can be corroborated by the testimony of anyone who was there at the time. They were clearly interested in me, and I'm a horny bastard. So
I like this. Now, don't turn this around on me. Anyway, I stand by my earlier promise. My dong, anytime. That was to be the core of our friendship. What the fuck? Is that a typo? Which part? Your dong. No, I said that earlier. It's always been my last-ditch effort to establish buddyship. Gross. I've done all I can. I'll do another better Ruby drawing on certain conditions. What? You got it. you got to say my experiences with anal are not effective of all women, and I'm sure I'd learn to enjoy if I were fucked by an alpha chad like Irish laddie in politics. Okay, so she's saying that she needs to say this. I know, I'd hate it. It's been 2 days with 2 guys, and one of them had a small dick, and the other he was like, okay, great. So, great. He really is obnoxiously sexual, huh?
You know, I reciprocated interest because
talking about pooping.
So I engaged with them in flirtation, both publicly and privately, for a period of 1 or 2 weeks. It really wasn't that long of a time, until it became clear to me through the testimony of others and through their own behavior that Pastel was not emotionally or mentally capable of healthily engaging in any kind of flirtation with me.
But yet you still continued to push the fuck out of the boundaries over, even though she kept saying stop, stop, stop over and over again.
Based on what I had seen from my interactions with them. So I decided to cut contact with them. Not full stop, block them and everything, but...
Yeah, I mean, even in this, it's like constantly... It seems like she thinks that maybe at first they're joking, and then he keeps pushing sexually, so she tries to move off of it.
Distance myself from them to prevent harm from occurring, which I thought was the responsible decision to make at the time. Shortly thereafter, Poppy appeared on the server. I think they'd been a mod prior. I just hadn't seen her in the server prior. And what happened from that point forward, I can only interpret. I don't know. I can't read other people's DMs. But it seemed to me like Poppy and Pastel spoke with one another, and this encouraged Pastel to reframe the way in which they looked in our conversation and begin publicly accusing me of having engaged in misbehavior, of being...
That seems pretty clear that with this Poppy person, you guys had like a weird love-hate relationship, and then you'd be super sexual, and at first like she was trying to play it off a little bit as a joke, but then had to set hard boundaries that you continuously pushed over. But okay.
Sexually harassing towards Poppy. So the drama sort of came up again. I later had a conversation with Pastel over voice, and from the conversation I had, it seemed to me...
And this is also with apparently other people in the Discord saying he's super sexually aggressive.
So Pastel did not believe that I had engaged in impropriety with them, but it still stood to show that the drama had been engaged in once more. I was banned from the PolyChat server following that outburst of drama. A few days ago, some screenshots of the DMs that I had had with Poppy, so these are about 1.5 year old screenshots, were collected and brought to the attention of the aforementioned streamer Destiny. And this then became a very, very public spectacle. Destiny showed those screenshots on stream, and I had an opportunity, very briefly, to go on there and defend myself. I felt as though the screenshots did not fully contextualize the conversation that I had had with Poppy, which is why down in the comments I am linking the full, unedited, except for docs being removed. I mean, you don't want my address, right? That's why I am posting the full unedited logs down below for scrutiny, and I invite your gaze. But nonetheless,
invite your gaze.
I was brought on to Destiny's stream to explain myself, and I did a...
Yeah, that's true. He didn't do anything wrong. He thought Poppy was a goblin short stack. Because if you look at the League of Legends art, she is a goblin short stack, basically.
To put not too fine a point on it, very bad job explaining myself. I was nervous. So, I would like to take a second shot at explaining myself here.
Okay.
Here's what I won't be addressing. I'm not going to be addressing some of the more outlandish extrapolations people have made.
What, that you're sexually harassing these people and then saying that they're not stable enough? Something that you probably identified from the first place. That's why you wanted to go after them?
About my behavior based on the logs. There are some people who are saying shit like me getting into leftism 6 or 7 years ago has all been part of a long-standing ploy to get left-leaning people to lower their guard around me so that I can...
Well, no, absolutely. I think Vaush is the kind of person that would like become a male feminist so that he can get women to put their guard down. Yeah, I believe that.
And one day,
that's not really outlandish. That's very normal. You see this kind of shit all the time from discussing people.
Them and like work my way into their news. Obviously, that's ridiculous.
Obviously,
I got into leftism to smash chuds. So that's what I won't be addressing. What I will be addressing is the conversation that I had with Poppy 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
It had been a while since I had looked over those logs. I mean, I don't regularly go over old conversations that I had with people who are no longer my friends. And the last memory that I had of those logs was the one which I had had when Poppy had first accused me of sexually harassing her. That is to say, one of indignation and rebuke. But since then, I have had more time. I have grown somewhat as a person over the past 1.5 years, and And
then you did sexually harass them.
Feel differently.
Yeah. So basically what I think is happening is that what happened is Vaush always knew it was sexual harassment. He didn't care. But now he's realizing he's not going to be able to get away with it. So he's like, yeah, looking at like, this is the thing. To me, we've seen a consistent pattern of Vaush boundary testing people over and over and over again, like in those logs, right? So to me, what I think it actually is that what I think it is more than anything else is that he tried his argument with Destiny. It didn't work. So he's like, you know what? I'll be the virtuous guy who admits his wrongdoing. I didn't realize that at first, but now I look back and like, listen, that can sometimes happen. I get it. Don't believe him when he says it. That's just my opinion. I don't believe him at all when he says it. I just think he's a dishonest guy. So I'm pretty sure that this is more of like feels like this is the only thing he has left to say because he doesn't feel like he can win out any other way.
About those logs now and about my behavior. When I was on Destiny's stream, I said that I had behaved cringily. I believe that I said, again, imperfect memory, that I had been at times a little creepy, that I had pushed boundaries, that I had been overly facilitated towards sexual conversation. And people called me a harasser, a sexual harasser.
Okay.
And I thought, no, I'm not a sexual harasser. I just did those things I just described. I just pushed boundaries. I just talked about sex maybe too much. I just was perhaps not as cognizant of the conversational partner's discomfort as I could have been. Do those things make me a sexual harasser? And I've thought about it over the past few days. The question seems a little leading. You can probably tell where I got. And the answer is that it doesn't really matter what I think. The logs are public. They're out there.
Okay.
People can see them. People have read them. And then they have accused me of engaging in sexual harassment.
He is very good at being manipulative, I'll tell you that much.
Far be it from me, somebody who smashes linguistic prescriptivists, to say that I've engaged in those behaviors, but not sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is what we define it to be. And
so for the people that would defend me and say that I'm not actually a sexual harasser, if you think about it, it's sexual harassment is just a social construct. So maybe I did, as long as you change the definition of harassment. That's what he's saying. He's not actually saying that he's sexually harassed somebody. He's using a lot of language to try to. He is saying like, oh, you know what? I changed my mind. I sexually harassed her. But then he's also saying only if you change the definition of sexual harassment, because by today's definition, that actually doesn't fit in there. Very, very disgusting language. Very fucking disgusting language. That makes sense to me. All his audience are probably just full of like fucking pedophiles, horse fuckers, and people who think sexual assault is kind of based. So,
okay, seems to have been laid out. So
cool. Maybe dog fuckers too.
Not happy with my behavior. I said that while I was on stream. I said that in regards to this conversation, I had used that as a template to learn how to better recognize discomfort in others, how to more responsibly speak to other people without making them uncomfortable, without being one note on the conversation. That is something that I've tried to work on over the past year and a half. And again, I have. That's one of the reasons.
How did you work on it? I'm curious.
Why
you just realized you're a public figure and how to operate better?
Made the decision to distance myself from Pastel a year and a half later, when I recognized they were not, at least in my perspective, capable of engaging healthily in flirtation. I backed off. Because I think I've grown as a person since then.
Sure.
But that's not to say that I'm done growing as a person. So I'm going to say this.
Okay.
The logs of me speaking with Poppy are reflective of poor behavior on my part. Sexual harassment being a broader term, more specifically, an unwillingness to back off certain topics, a
sexual harassment,
callousness in regards to the discomfort of the person with whom I was speaking, and a general fastidiousness when it came to topics of a sexual matter. I've worked to change my behavior since then, and I'm going to continue to work to change my behavior in the future.
But if you just identified now, today, that behavior was inappropriate, then how did you... Like, okay, so originally he was defensive and it's like, I didn't do anything wrong. And then he finally realized at this point, like a day ago, oh yeah, you know what? It was sexual harassment. So how did you work to change the behavior if you still agreed with the behavior up until you getting exposed? Doesn't even make sense. You're trying to make it seem... See, what he's trying to do in this moment is say, this happened years ago. I've changed, obviously. But you didn't, because you thought this behavior was perfectly acceptable after you started talking about it again. That's not even honest.
Works in progress. We are. And it's important to me that I say all of this, not just for my sake or to clear people's perspectives of me or to add any finality to this issue, but moreover because I do care about these sort of broader social implications, which are made, evident here. The tendencies that I demonstrated towards callousness and fastidiousness and ignorance and, well, harassment, these are not mere symptoms of my poor behavior, they're also a product of broader social problems.
Yes, of course. It's society's fault that Vaush is a sexual harassing piece of shit. Of course. You know, I understand that society's a little regressive when it comes to things, of course, but no. Especially since you're in a sphere where you pretend to be a feminist. So be like, well, society has taught me to be overly pushy. You could make that argument if you weren't a self-proclaimed feminist. I'm talking about, dude. Get the fuck out of here. It's society's fault, guys. I could see why his dumb fucking audience would like buy into this stuff.
Which we know exists. I mean, if you're watching this video, you're probably lefty. You know, you're probably with me on that. We know that male entitlement towards sexuality is a thing, and we know if you've watched my videos, you know that I'm not rid of male entitlement conceptually. And if I am to continue attempting to be any kind of left-leaning public figure, it is essential not only that I attempt to improve myself, but also that I be able to draw my personal failings to a broader social system from which they originated. And I'm interested in that social system. And I'm interested in helping young men, or young people of any gender really, but broadly young men, get better at recognizing poor behavior in themselves and learning what they can do to improve upon it in the future. And that does, at least in this instance, start with me.
Wow.
So,
beautiful
there have been
stuff,
people
man.
who have suggested that I take a break from the internet, that I get off YouTube and Twitch.
I will not do that.
I will not be doing that.
Whoa.
For two reasons.
Because I want to make money.
For one, I need this to live. This here is the only reason I could afford groceries this week. And it's nice to be able to eat, I have to say.
Wow, cool guy.
But two,
let's get a different job.
no. Culture war is ongoing, my friend. I'm going to keep arguing with chuds. I'm going to keep...
The culture war. See, it's so interesting. You see the pattern of behavior. No. I'm necessary. I have to keep arguing with. I don't know what the fuck a chud is. I'm not terminally online. Please don't tell me what it is because I have no interest in being that fucking like dumb. But no, the same thing with an Ethan. What went after him for having lolicon porn on his computer. Oh, well, what about the election? Oh, it's interesting. This happens during election time. Like weird, like fucking bizarre behavior, man.
Keep
like
dismantling reactionary rhetoric.
My ass.
I'm going to keep trying to make the world a better place. I'm not stopping in that regard.
I got to turn off.
So, to those of you who are unfamiliar with this
power
drama
up.
prior
It's
to
too
listening about
much
it in this
when
video,
you're doing hyper.
I'm sorry for clogging up your feed. I don't want you to base your appreciation of this channel and its content off of misinformation or lack of information. So, here, I lay this all out before you.
Great.
To those of you who are aware of the drama and were waiting for me to give a response or a clarification, hello. This is not a matter of satisfying you. This is a matter of me being honest about my feelings. I hope that the feelings that I have had are ones which you find agreeable. And if not, I hope that in spite of my impropriety, you can continue to enjoy my content. Because
has Vaush ever had a real job for it? Probably not.
Here on stream and here on YouTube. And if you're one of the people who didn't really care for me beforehand and has been using all of this drama as an excuse to harass me or harass my Discord or harass the people who have not yet decided to harass me,
same shit.
I don't think very well of you. But I do.
Same fucking victim complex. Same like you're just weaponizing the drama. Same old shit. To see he hasn't changed at all, dude. Holy
Sincerely
fuck.
hope that this quells your rage. Thank you for listening. I love you all very much, and
all right,
have a wonderful evening.
Great, fucking brain around bullshit. I guess do I want to continue to read this? Whatever. As of March 31st, 2019, I have admitted I sexually harassed Poppy and acknowledged my wrongdoing. I have since gone off to reaffirm my wrongdoing dozens of times on stream, on and off, to as many people and audiences. I maintain I did not sexually harass Pastel, though there are still ways in which I mishandled my engagement with them. That was even worse, the Pastel one. No, get the fuck out of here. Such as mischaracterizing their feelings towards me and treating them in a way I typically treat people I flirt with online, more casually. Okay. Generally speaking, there are ways in which I could have been more considerate to their needs that warrants an apology, but I'll address this soon. When people accuse me of obstinately defending myself, I find that they're usually upset with me for not acquiescing and admitting to my behavior. Right? So he's obstinately defending yourself is just consistently. He's using big words to try to make him seem intelligent. When he's saying acquiescing is just like giving in, instead of just giving in. He's being dishonest. It's on purpose. Like this is the problem, is that there are people who like to try to use big words to confuse people and throw them off. That's the only thing that it is. It's all it is, really what it boils down to. Communicating with people, you don't need to use big words to communicate with people. In fact, most of the time you just use people that are, it's a typical vernacular that people have is better to communicate. I work with people from like El Salvador. We had a I wasn't going to sit there and try to use intentionally big words, so I would change my language. That's not me disrespecting them. That's me like, they speak two languages. I speak one. You know what I mean? Who's worse off than me? It's intentional though. It's supposed to make you feel inferior. Anyway, admitting to my behavior. Okay. I haven't engaged. Okay. So upset with me for not acquiescing or and admitting to misbehavior I haven't engaged in. We can review the non-existent behavior now. It may seem ridiculous and over defensive to even acknowledge with these accusations, but I swear to you, I have seen it multiple times on Reddit, Twitter, and elsewhere. Ooh, very pretentious. Apologize for the sexual assault you committed. Nobody's saying sexual assault. Destiny misspoke one time, and he's harping on that because he wants to get a win. Sexual assault replies to actual assault. Blah 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 blah. Apologize for the sexual abuse you've committed. Sexual abuse. Blah blah blah. Again, he's proposing. He's effectively proposing arguments that never happened, that were never actually credible, that nobody ever claimed, and being like, "See, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad." Apologize for sending unsolicited dick pictures. I've never sent unsolicited news of myself to anybody. I sent 2 pictures of myself to Poppy. One was a forehead, the other one was my knee with the edited screenshot of the conversation sent to Destiny. Both of those photos had been manipulatively edited to suggest they were not safe for work. Neither were. I did send a single nude picture to Pastel. At their request, they say something along the lines of, wouldn't it be funny if ironically you sent me like an unironic picture of your bulge as his friends? Blah, blah, blah. I sent the picture. Apologize for pressuring Poppy into sending you news themselves. At no point in my conversation did I ever pressure them. He kind of did. Apologize for doxing and threatening Popsy. I don't really know that argument. Sounds like he did. Yeah, apologize for threatening to kill her. Whatever. This is, honestly, to be honest with you, this is just like fucking dumb and boring. I'll put it in the description if you want to read through this. I have no... I don't care. I don't really want to continuously do it. Because it's going to be him, reframing the narrative over and over again, and effectively lying to some extent about what actually happened. So, yeah, cool stuff, man.